Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another fantastic night of SciFi Vision Presents Fandom Access. Jamie will be along after we talk Diplomat. So you stuck with just me and Karen for now.
I'm having some severe camera problems here, but
that's okay.
We'll just.
You're not going to see us in a minute. You're not going to see us in a minute anyway, because
we're going to put on some photos of this week's last. So we're talking about episodes 7 and 8, the last two episodes.
I forgot that the season was only 8 episodes, and after that last episode, I was like, "Wait, why is it saying like asking my opinion of the season?" I'm like, "Oh shit, there's only 8." I was like, "God damn it!"
I know. I'm so sad it's over. I am really. Too. It was a great season. These last episodes, when we talked last week, I was like, "Oh, what could possibly happen? What more could happen?"
How do you top that? Well, they fucking topped it. Holy shit!
Oh yeah. I really enjoyed where this went with Callum, and with I don't know. Jamie loaded these pictures here, so I'm not really sure what we got. But this is the fallout. The Rayburn fallout is still happening, and also the sub is found in international water, right? The sub is found, and
I think it's 14 nautical miles off of the shore of England, so it's really fucking close.
Yeah. He's got all this information, and he can't. He comes to tell Kate that the sub is really close, and that and he gets trapped in the embassy, right? She sneaks him in, and he can't get out because of the protesters. Is mostly what happens in this episode, I think.
Good portion of it. Right? Worked out for them. Worked out from them. They had the whole house to themselves and had some sexy time.
I know, right? Kate said she'd never been in the house by herself ever, and they had never had sex outside of that shower in wherever it is where they have their meetings, and they would have to have sex in that shower, right? So they
I think she even makes a comment about, can you do it vertically or horizontally or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're kind of fun, but ultimately I don't really. I like Aidan Turner a lot, who plays Callum. I saw him most recently. He was the star of Poldark on Masterpiece, and he also was in the original. What's that movie about the ghost? The original Being Human on BBC. He played the vampire character.
Get the hell out of here! I did not realize that was him.
The original BBC one, right?
I love the original BBC. I didn't realize that was him, though.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
He was very young with long hair and very kind of, he was basically an addict.
That'll do it.
A blood addict, yeah. So I like him a lot, but I'm not invested in these two as a couple, right? I'm interested in them as a couple only as much as it reflects on Kate and Hal's relationship, right?
Yeah. Well, there's that pretty awkward moment when she's like, "Oh my God, I did it again," and she basically compares him to Hal. And you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Well, Kate has a type."
Yeah, she's kind of not wrong, right? That happens in episode. I guess.
Isn't that the same episode? Yeah, because he was. It's in this episode because it happened while they were stuck. So the two of them are stuck in the house alone, and they're going separate rooms and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got a little bit of that Hal syndrome where he is acting unilaterally because he thinks he's the only guy who knows what's going on and the only guy who can fix things, right?
She's not wrong, but she was a little rude about it.
She was. she apologized to him eventually, right?
Yeah, she apologizes later, and she said, she says something like, she's like, listen, she's like, I really like another chance. She goes, if I'm being honest, I'm going to need 4 or 5 chances.
Yeah. Yeah, and she is, right. That's how Kate. I mean, Kate is not she's not easy. And I liked how. I mean, I always enjoy these episodes where she's like, a lot of this she spends on the phone, like back and forth with Hal, right? Because,
because Trowbridge is going to China for help with the sub.
Yeah, he's and. What's always fun about this is like this whole sub thing's going on and kind of like only Kate knows about it for part of the episode, while the White House is all about like trying to do damage control and get Trowbridge back in line. And it starts out right with trying to negotiate like should they apologize? Trowbridge, should they call and apologize to Trowbridge for a thing that they didn't actually even do, right?
Well, but here's the fucking thing. Grace did do it. They just blamed somebody else.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So Grace's stance is kind of interesting throughout this whole thing, because on one hand, she herself does want to go there one-on-one, apologize and everything. But at the same time, it's like all these people know that it was Grace, but they get so wrapped up in the in the story they sent that it's like, I feel like some of them forgot. Stop acting so high and mighty. Grace is the one that did this.
Okay, but Royland really did it, right?
Well,
and what they want is for Trowbridge to complete the sentence and say he implicated Rayburn, but he never said the part where like Royland actually went and did it.
Yes.
And that's the part the White House wants to come out into the open, right? And if he doesn't do it, like Grace is gonna, I don't know what she's gonna do, but something really bad.
Yeah, to say the least. So right? I love the back and forth during all this with Kate and Hal, and he tells her, because they write up this speech for her to give, and he says to her, he's like, you don't have to do it, and she's like, well, it's a White House call, and he goes, where the fuck do you think I am?
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I guess she means the president, or she still just doesn't think of him as like the White House, right? She still just thinks of him as her. Like,
yeah, no, that was delivered so well. That was just like, it was so great. Like, I knew what she meant. Like, you know what she means, but Hal's reaction to it is great.
Yeah. It is great. And I mean, I guess that's really most of what goes on in this episode, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of like,
the good stuff doesn't really happen until the next episode once everybody gets together.
I mean, I think in this episode they do, part of the problem with this sub is that there's a Poseidon missile on it. I guess it's some kind of like, I mean, it's a very powerful nuclear missile that's aboard this sub. And that's why the U.S. can't allow China to get it, because they will get a look at this Russian technology. And apparently
they don't care about but getting a look at it isn't the problem. Having that type of weapon and being able to use it and nobody being able to stop it.
Yeah. And being able, presumably, I don't know, to like make more of them. And it turns out that Callum knew about it, right? Callum has known for a while that.
And that's what he calls him out. Calls him Hal Jr.
This is when she calls him Hal Jr., right? When he's like, I knew about it for like, I don't know, weeks or months. I think he's known about it, right?
I want to say it was like six or 9 months.
Yeah.
He's known about it for a minute.
Long time, right?
And he's just bringing it up now.
And he only brings it up when everything has gone south and he needs her help is the only reason he tells, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, he only brought it up because the sub's gone missing.
Yeah, And that's what Hal does. Like Kate feels like she's always cleaning up Hal's mess, which is pretty much what has happened for like the first 2 seasons of the show, right? I mean, she's not wrong about that. While all this is going on, like back at the White House, I think this is when Hal is forced to admit to Billy that he and Kate are separated, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Billy makes a comment about spouses and stuff like that, and he's like, "I don't have a spouse." And Billy's just like, "Oh, I get it."
He's like, "I have a spouse, but she's."
I have a wife, but I don't have a spouse, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He says, right? Like he's like, "Yeah, I have a." And so, I mean, everybody, look, that wasn't going to be able to be kept hidden for very long, right? There's no way that was going to be able to be kept a secret.
No.
I mean, I'm surprised they lasted like a whole 5 months, or whatever. So, I mean, I just love how this got like so much. How you didn't think it could get worse at the last episode, and now it's just gotten so much more complicated and so much worse, right?
Well, I mean, I gotta say, there was so many great scenes and so many great comments and everything. So the president flies there. They go to Trowbridge's. He's gonna have his dinner party and everything. He's still being a whiny little baby. They sit down, and Grace is like, "Hey, so we know about the sub. It's off your coast, and it's got Poseidon on it." And she goes to describe it to him, and he's like, "I know what it is." He's like, "But it's not real." And she's like, "Yes, it is." And she's like, "Listen, we're willing to help you."
Yeah,
because we have the technology to take care of it. And he's just like, no. And then he just fucking leaves. And everybody's like, what the fuck was that?
He's really, I think I don't even have a photo of him at all anymore. I think I deleted him last week.
There's the one of them at the podium from last week.
There's one of them podium from last week. I'll dig it up. But he's not in this picture. Anyway, yeah, he's really, I mean, he is being a big kind of whiny baby, right? In a moment when like everything is going south, and he's a petulant child.
I get that he's hurt and upset. He considered Rayburn a friend, so I get where he's coming from. I mean, think about this. A friend and his mommy figure blew up his freighter.
Yeah.
So I get it.
I mean, there's the level at which like the United States has betrayed the UK, which is really bad. But he's reacting also on that, as you just described, that really personal level where his mommy figure and his friend blew up his ship.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it to a point, but he's just he's not a good prime minister.
No, he's very he's very emotional, very unpredictable, very immature, right? And really just not temperamentally suited to be in this job.
Yeah, he's not an adult. But the highlight for me was the dinner party.
Oh, the terrible dinner party.
and leading that was a great dinner party. Leading up to it, they're standing. They're all, well, I'm mishmashing everything because I don't know where one started.
Yeah. No, we're in the next episode. Yeah, when they're all.
So you actually have a picture of them. It's in
at the dinner party. I do. Is it here?
The dinner party. It's great though because they're all there. You go. They're all standing there, and the funny thing is, even Dennison is in on it. Like, so they come out and they're like, "Dinner's," the butler comes out and he's like, "Dinner's ready," and Grace says, "Well, we don't want to keep him waiting, do we?" And then they proceed to stand there for like another 5 minutes before they finally go in. I was like, wow, that was just like.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a power move to just make him wait a minute longer.
It was absolutely a power move. It was a great power move. But what and then the dinner party. Oh my god!
It was the best dinner party.
Todd threw a fucking grenade, and the rest was just fun.
Todd was in rare form. Todd really, Todd, I think he's at the limit of his ability to, like, he can't take it anymore.
Play nice,
right? Yeah, he can't play nice anymore. He is so sick of being like marginalized and being treated like just a little. Yeah. I mean, look, Todd, you're being treated like first ladies have for centuries. So
Well, Trowbridge's wife makes that because I know it started. Trowbridge starts off with what did he say? Schlesinger's cat.
Oh yeah, he gets the whole. He calls him Heisenberg's cat.
Heisenberg's cat. Yes.
Yes.
And everybody else kind of plays along with it, and Todd's like, he's like, it's not Heisenberg.
He corrects him. He corrects like the leader of right. It's this very high stakes dinner, and he corrects him.
He corrects him to the point of just making him feel like a complete and utter fool, and and Trowbridge is already a baby, and then the wife jumps. Trowbridge's wife jumps in, and Todd is like, "Do you people not realize what my career was before my wife became president?" Like.
Where's the white? I can't find that picture that I just showed of them all at this party. But yeah, Todd has given, he continues to be very, he's getting more and more resentful about having had to give up his career for his wife.
Todd is a brilliant academic.
Yeah.
And they just talk to him like he's window dressing.
Yeah. He was having this great career and there he is. But again, this is how the first lady has been treated, like always, right? Like, of course, the first, like we've never, all of our first ladies have really given up their career. I mean, Jill Biden continued to teach in Delaware somewhat, right? But none of them really have tried to keep a career. They all and I'm sure, we've never seen a show where a first lady was this resentful. I feel like Hillary Clinton probably was one who maybe really did not enjoy the role. And then and then she went on and had her own political career afterwards. Right. But Todd is really not into it. And Todd, earlier in this episode, Todd seems to think that Hal and Grace are getting a little too close. Right. He thinks they're a little too intimate and getting along a little too well. And he's kind of suspicious, which is crazy. But
it was definitely I didn't see that turn of events coming, that Todd was going to be kind of jealous of them.
I didn't either. Cause Todd does, they seem to really be in love, and last week, even with the oyster shucking episode, they seem to be a very comfortable couple who are they seem to be a much.
Oh my god, I feel, and the poor president can't get any. She's laughing, and Secret Service busted, and Todd's like, "Well, that's a mood killer."
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was kind of ridiculous.
Come on, lock. And I'm thinking, lock the fucking door.
Yeah.
Do they need to hang a sock on the fucking doorknob or something?
Yeah. I can imagine that seemed kind of surprising to me that would happen, that the Secret Service would be that intrusive, right? They know that.
Well, she even makes a comment about, can't you tell the difference between screaming in agony and a laugh?
Yeah. Yeah. She's not. She's absolutely right. It was a little bit ridiculous. So in the meantime, they are trying to, also, Dennison shows up and he's married, and nobody knew he was married, right? He shows up with this new girl that he's been dating for. Kate says he's only been dating her a very short time, and they just like up and get married. They just got married.
But once, we find out when him and Kate had the heart to heart, we find out that she's the woman he was dating before his wife.
Yes.
So it's kind of a reconnection.
And his wife has died, and he's gotten back together with her. And he kind of like says like, "Oh, Kate, that like run I had with you like showed me how like wrong that was going to be, and that I needed to be with this woman instead." Right.
There's still some serious sexual tension between those two, because during that conversation, you could have cut that shit with a fucking knife. But I almost, I tell you what, though, during that conversation, though, I kind of feel like, because he's like, he's like complimenting her. He's like, I really give you a lot of credit for, reconciling with Hal and, and really fighting for it. And I'm thinking, he has no idea, but, and then they go back, so the dinner party's over. They go back to the table to have this conversation further, right. And that's what well, actually, they had the sneaky little part of Todd's, hey, what the hell's going, why do you have all these moments with Hal by the fireplace in a dark corner. And because Kate is like, I have an idea, get photos, show Trowbridge that we're not bullshitting, that this is real, and they're like, basically, I forget it was Kate or Grace that says, ask for forgiveness instead of permission, because technically it would be considered an act of war what they did, sending the drone in to take the pictures. And then she tells him this, shows him the pictures and everything, and he's still being a bitch about it until I don't know what Hal says to Kate something about I'm assuming it's at a previous something that they did, and she's like do it, and he's like, no, he loves you, you go do it. And she gets up in the middle of this conversation, walks over and whispers in Trowbridge's ear, and I'm thinking, that doesn't seem very professional, but it worked.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's a better
when they tell him to bury it, which is not a bad idea.
It's a better plan. Her previous plan, remember, had been all this going on about like Trowbridge wouldn't believe them, and she tries to tell Callum that she's like, Callum, that part. She's like, Callum, he won't believe us, so you need to tell him about your Russian sources, and that that these Russians came to you and told you about it, and that this is how all about it. And he's like, look, they'll get killed. My sources will get killed, right? And Kate says, oh, I promise that we'll protect them, and I promise that like we'll be able to, we'll protect both you and your sources, right? And Callum like eventually agrees and goes to Hal to make this offer, right? I was really worried about this because Kate is not, remember how Kate like promised to protect Idra, and then she like skipped the meeting, and like she just basically like she promised to protect Idra from when Royland killed herself in Idra's custody, and then she like blows off the meeting with the head of the CIA, and she's not doing a good job protecting her, right? God bless you. And Idra's stuck with this terrible job, and so now she's making these promises that she absolutely cannot keep to Callum. And then Hal doesn't react well because Hal thinks that Callum is just trying to protect Kate, but really it was Kate's whole idea in the first place, right? Right. She's got these two men like running around in circles.
But then they come up with this other idea, and that works. And she goes, and she tells Callum, she's like, we have another idea that is better. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. And he's like, oh, thank God. I really didn't want to.
And the other plan is like they're just going to double cross Trowbridge again, like be like, well, he won't believe us. Let's send our sub into his territorial waters, which could be seen as an act of war, right? And go get the pictures that we need. But they which
all works out when she's tells him to bury the nuke, because nobody should have that kind of power. So win-win for everybody. Until and then okay. But even before we get to that part, what the fuck, Kate? Did you see that comment that she was gonna be all apologetic and get back together with Hal?
No, what was that all about? Was that that to me came way to left field, and I don't even like really understand it. And
I don't either.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, she wants to like. I don't know if it's because she realized that she just made them that Cal is basically a mini Hal. I mean,
yeah, I think that's what it is. Well, I think she's also made the realization that she's part of the problem.
Yeah. Well, that Cal maybe is not the best choice, and Dennison basically makes this comment that's kind of like, yeah, you're not like I dodged a bullet with you, kind of. And she just like begs Hal to take her back, which is, I'm like, I couldn't believe it.
Well, she didn't have to beg, because she had him the minute she walked in the door.
Well, yeah, but she throws her arms around his neck and she's like, I'm sorry. I want to go back to the US with you. Will you take me back? And then like that was, I couldn't believe that. I mean, I guess as we talk about it, like, it's not really over between those two, right? Like, it's definitely like a can't live with them, can't live without them kind of situation between those two, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're a great power couple. I give there's that, and they really are two peas in a pod.
They are. I mean, look, at least if they're together, there's only one messed up relationship in the world, and they're not messing up two other people, right? They're protecting other people from themselves, maybe.
But then when everybody's leaving and taking all the pictures, Kate is like, why would she tell him we sent it on man drone? Why would she say this? Why would she do? And then all of a sudden she was like, oh my God, you guys stole the fucking nuke. And Hal is like, shut the fuck up. Just go away. Stop talking about it.
I think Todd
I think
Todd kind of gave her the idea, because she was talking to Todd and he says something like, oh, look at those two standing there plotting world domination. And I think like that was kind of what made
Kate, when it clicked.
Right?
Yeah.
That the like it's missing, and like that the sub is missing. The sub, or just the missile is gone. The torpedo or the missile, the Poseidon is gone from the sub. Callum brings all this like blah blah about radiation levels being down, and they can only go down if the missile is gone and whatever. And
they assume that the Russians found the sub and took it back themselves, and
and like it's insane where Kate goes with this, because Kate, like, she goes to Hal. I don't know if I have a picture of her and Hal. To ask him about it, and you're right. He's like, don't ask me, don't say anything. But like, for Trowbridge to believe that, if Trowbridge believes that the Russians have taken he will accuse Russia of basically committing an act of war by stealing their sub. It's a right, by stealing the sub that was in their waters. It's in British territorial waters. So, and then, Russia will assume the UK took their sub, and they're going to attack Russia. And basically, like, Russia's going to attack the UK, and then I guess what, Trowbridge will have to ask the US to help him, and they'll have him back in the spot where they want him. Like, I'm not really sure what these two are plotting.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, well, and it was all Hal's idea too, because they asked Kate to leave the room, and he says, I have an idea so that you'll feel better about this. And that's when we find out what his better idea was, taking the nuke. Not going there and just taking fucking pictures. Taking the nuke while they were there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. And, I mean, what's to say Trowbridge won't know that they did it, right? Like, they're like, oh, we sent a drone down there to get the photos. Is he...
Well, that's the whole thing. We sent an unmanned drone to get photos, and that's when Kate was like, why was she lying about that? That's not what we, you know... Obviously, she didn't not going to call her out in the middle of it, but...
Yeah. But I don't know if Trowbridge will be like, no, you didn't. You sent it like, I guess they want Trowbridge to assume that Russia snuck in there and stole their weapon back.
Right.
But it seems to me to be kind of like, is it not obvious that the U.S. could have stolen it when they went down there to take their pictures?
I don't think they'll think of that until, who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
We got to wait for I don't even know how long.
Yeah. I mean, it's and it looks like, so Grace and Hal appear to have made this decision together, right? They've committed this huge, like, betrayal. I mean, is that an act of war that they've committed? I don't know. But it's like,
it kind of is.
This gets worse and worse, right? It gets to be a bigger and bigger mess that Kate has to fix like every single time, right? I don't know.
What?
Do you think that there really is anything between Grace and Hal other than world domination?
Just world domination. There's nothing there.
I think so too. Because he was so obviously not over Kate at all, right?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, and Grace and Todd look great together. You know what I mean? They're like you said, they're just a happy little couple.
Yeah, they are.
I think it's just. I think Todd's just feeling left out.
Well, because he is actually left out.
Yeah.
And Hal has this like high-powered wife who like has a role. I mean, because she's the ambassador, but she's allowed in like all these meetings, and I think it just kind of makes it worse for him that as the first husband he is shut out, and the second lady is like right in the thick of it all the time.
Yeah. So it is official. It's been official for about a month that it is coming back for season 4.
Yeah.
And they're actually going to start production in this month.
Oh, really? Oh, good. So maybe we don't have to wait 2 years for the next episode.
Well, we haven't had to wait 2 years for any of them. It's been out yearly.
Yes,
it was a little bit longer during the strike, but they've been on top of it.
I can't even imagine.
Which just goes to show Netflix, it can be done because they're on Netflix and they're doing it.
Yep.
They don't got to wait 5 years. They don't got to wait for their kids to get married.
No, of course there's like zero special effects in this show, but I mean, it does take a lot.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
The OA didn't have a lot of special effects. I mean, they had some, but not a lot.
Yeah.
They canceled the OA. Anyway.
Yep. So anyway, Jamie has arrived.
Yes, she has.
Just in time, perfect timing, really, as we were finishing this up, Jamie.
Yep. Let me get my, whoa, okay. Well, my camera isn't on. Hold on, let me figure out my camera. But yes, here, hello. I don't know why my camera isn't on. Yeah, I know. It's because it's not coming through here for some reason. Hold on.
No, you have a powerful mic.
Yeah, no, it's because it's coming through StreamYard. Hold on 1 second. I gotta take myself off the stage a second, I think.
That's okay. So with Jamie here, we're going to talk about I don't know. We're going to talk about, I think, maybe Pluribus.
You know what? No, let's get Lazarus the fuck out of the way.
Oh yeah, let's do Lazarus first, Jamie, and get that out of the way. AJ, had you watched the whole thing like through at once, or did you watch it?
No. So after last week, because I'm off on Wednesdays after the podcast. So I watched an episode of The Diplomat, and then I was like, you know what? I want to savor The Diplomat. So let me finish Lazarus and see where the hell this is going. And as I'm going through it, I'm thinking something. I was like, there's more than one killer. There's got to be. None of this makes any sense. I was like, this is just. It's like, but I'm thinking like, if Dad's the killer, that means somebody now. I'm like, well, maybe it's Laz and his dad were both killers. And then we get, and then the whole thing with the cop happened, and I was just like, all right, well, Jamie's with us now, so let's.
Sorry,
Jamie, we want to get Lazarus the fuck out of the way.
Whoops, I didn't mean to do it.
Why do you keep suggesting shows with really shitty endings?
I didn't see it. I didn't know how it was going to end. I didn't dislike it as much as you did, though.
First Wayward, and now, to be fair, I was going to watch Lazarus anyway. It's I like Harlan Coben stuff. I gotta say though, for Harlan Coben, maybe he should stick to writing books, and then let them develop them instead of just going straight to developing it for TV himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't dislike
this
it
ending was
the last
awful.
couple of minutes. The ending was awful, but the rest of it I didn't.
No, that's what I said. I said the ending was awful.
Yeah, but the rest of it was good. I mean, you guys didn't like the rest of it, and I liked most of it. No, I mean, it wasn't like as good as the other one. Don't get me wrong.
I didn't hate it until the final episode, especially when you find, I told you that there was no supernatural though.
Yeah. Well, but see, a lot of it. But see, it's still kind of unexplained. Like the conversations that he has with dead people, he's really just listening to the tapes and imagining himself as in this father's role.
Yes, apparently. See, that's the thing. It shows that he is nuts, because you can't tell the difference between you have listened to tapes and seeing dead people.
Well, I think he's supposed to have had another breakdown. They're just not. I feel personally, I think that they more left it open so you could choose whether he's actually talking to dead people or whether he's watching the tapes. They didn't explicitly say that, but I mean, yes, they implied it's the tapes. I'm not disagreeing with that.
We see him listening to the tapes of those conversations. However. How do you have those conversations with his father?
Right,
there was no tapes of those conversations.
Sort of, made so you.
That's that's a huge problem. That's a big hole.
But I think they also, from what I've read, I think this is left, maybe they intend to have a season 2.
Oh God, I hope not.
I'm not saying they do, but have it about his son. I mean, look, I get the point of it. They're saying that, that the violence is cyclical, and he wanted to kill Sam for killing his sister, and that he didn't, but now his son is killing people like his father did. I get that message, but I don't. Yes, I don't like the last episode either.
But that's what I'm saying. What is Aiden's reason? Why did Aiden kill?
He, like his grandfather likes to kill, I think is kind of what it's trying to. At least that's what I'm trying to say.
But at least Laz Senior had a reason behind it. It wasn't a very good reason. Like, he felt that he was helping those people end their suffering because they were always going to suffer forever. So he was actually helping them. Not a great reason, but a reason. Aiden's reason, why kill your father? Why kill your newfound father's girlfriend? I mean, assuming that he killed the girlfriend.
Yeah.
He killed Why did he kill Margot? Why would he kill Margot?
Why did he kill Margot?
Yeah, it's left very open ending. And that's why I said it's almost to me left like they expect another season, because otherwise they just left it so open they didn't answer half the things. But the problem is that last episode, I liked it. I think it was there was an idea, and then I don't know. Then he didn't know where to take it. And it almost felt like he's like, well, I got to give another shock. And that was the whole point of the ending, was to make it a shock, not to make it a good ending. Does that make sense? Which isn't good. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm just saying
that's bad.
It is bad.
It's really bad.
Unless they already know they're getting a season 2. Now, if they already knew it, I would say maybe it wouldn't be as bad.
Why would you promote it as a limited series?
Why would you have a season 2? What is there to have in a season 2?
Yeah, I don't think they need one. Hold on, I got to turn my speaker up. No, I'm just explaining what I'm guessing maybe was in their heads. I don't agree with it, and I'm saying I don't like they did it, but
there was
that's
nothing in there.
I can figure.
Because
it's almost
everything.
like I feel like when he got to the point that the father was killing him, and why I don't remember the woman's name, but the one that was helping him inadvertently in that. Allison, if they had just ended the story with explaining that she forced him to commit, if they had just ended it there, it would have been okay. It wasn't the best, but it would have been okay. And that's why I said, I feel like they went, well, maybe if we give it this, cliffhanger ending, we can get a season 2 and give a big shock factor. And like, that was all they cared about. Like, that's how I
disagree with you. It's not a cliffhanger ending. It's just a stupid ending, I think. And I think it was really not about I don't think it was about having cliffhanger. I think it was they were trying to say something about like generational
sins of the father.
It's not over. Like the grandson. It's so dumb. There's no reason why this kid who had zero exposure to this grandfather ever, like, is it implying that it's genetic that you become a serial killer? It's just
that's exactly what they're implying.
I guess that's what they're implying, and I agree. It's stupid. My point, what I'm making is I'm saying that I think they made it as a cliffhanger simply because of the things that they didn't answer. Like the thing with Margot makes 0%. Like, okay, they kind of hinted at things, but not enough. Because thinking back, I'm guessing that part of
what did you catch that I missed?
Because there's if you pay attention, and it's very brief, he says to that other psychiatrist,
wait, who's he? There's too many psychiatrists. Who's he?
Aiden says to Laura, I think it was Lori he said it to. He says something like, I don't trust therapists because Aiden said to her something, said to Laura something like, I don't trust therapists, they never keep their secrets, or something to that effect, implying that, I'm assuming, his grandfather or whoever he saw that was a therapist as well, that they told somebody that he was having problems. And so therefore that's why he, I guess, killed Margot, because maybe she told somebody. That was how I thought it was, what it was supposed to mean.
Right, Jamie, you can't go.
It doesn't make sense.
But that's just you trying. That's literally you trying to make sense of their terrible storytelling.
He did say that they didn't keep secrets, so I have to assume that it's connected to that. And he did see the grandfather as a psychiatrist. They said he did.
But we shouldn't have to assume anything. They should tell us. That's how stories work.
Yeah.
Now there are things. Now, don't get me wrong. There are things out there where it's intentional for a situation of, off top of my, perfect example off the top of my head, the original Time Machine movie, right? HBO's original Time Machine. It ends with this the time traveler grabbing 3 books, and they're like, "What 3 did he take?" And they're like, "I don't know. What 3 would you take if you were going to restart the world?" That type of ambiguous ending works. It's intentful. This was just a mess. Like, I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the mystery, trying to figure everything out up to this point.
Yeah.
Okay,
once they establish.
This is what Harlan Coben does. This is what Harlan Coben does. When you get to the end of the mystery, like, suddenly it's not what you thought it was, and he throws in like these big twists at the end. Like every Harlan Coben show I've ever seen,
it's usually fine.
Solved. In the second to last episode, you think it's solved, and there's a whole bunch of extra like twisty stuff that happens.
That's why I said after they told the whole story about Allison and his father, they should have just done, and it would have been fine.
But usually in a Harlan Coben show, after the final twist, at least it makes sense and it's explained.
Yeah.
The last Harlan Coben that we watched, that we talked about, the one where she was the helicopter pilot in the military.
Yeah. I forgot.
All right.
Is it called? I forgot what that's called. Yeah.
I don't.
Fool Me Once or something like that. Fool Me Once.
Fool Me Once. Yeah. Fool Me Once.
So they give us the twist at the end.
That was the older one,
but they explain the twist, and we understand the twist, and I'm okay with that. This is, that's the type of stuff I expect from Harlan Coben stuff. This gave us a twist that made absolutely 0 cents. Basically, what they're implying is because his grandfather was a serial killer, Laz and his son are screwed. Because apparently it's in your blood. Nothing you can do about it. Oh well.
Dumb.
The end.
I think that part was a little. Well, why don't we? I know you guys don't want to go through the whole thing scene by scene, and that's fine. But why don't we at least kind of go through the big strokes of it? So the first part of the story that we get is with, because this picture actually works with that, is that we started off with the dog was in Sutton's room the day she died. So that's how they know that Sam at some point got the dog after the fact. And they try to find him. They go to his house. They can't find him. And then the thing that they do find photos. That's how they know that they do think he's the killer that killed Sutton anyway. But the thing to me that was confusing is after he took off and they were trying to find him, why was Aiden going fishing with him? Like who is this guy to Aiden that this Aiden just goes fishing with this old man that, well, I mean, he's not old man, but to him, I'm saying he's older because he's a kid. Like, why was he going fishing with this random dude? Like, and that's why whenever Laz got to Sam and he's like, nothing happened, I'm thinking, well, that actually was an explanation I feel like I needed, because why else would you take a teenage kid with you fishing that you don't know unless you were intending to do something?
I honestly, I think it was to establish that they are like-minded because of our twist ending at the end. In hindsight, that's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, maybe.
In hindsight, yeah.
I hate it when writers do that with the show, leave stories unfinished and leave it with a stupid ending. I agree the writers might not have wrapped it up because they were hoping to get more. Yeah, that's the only explanation I have. I'm not saying it's a good explanation.
But here's the thing with that. Why do you promote it as a limited series if you're hoping for another season?
Maybe he just wanted to give it a shock value ending. Maybe he doesn't intend for another one.
No,
I mean, that's possible too.
I think it was just they wanted a shocker ending, and it's just bad. My explanation, for me, the explanation, it's just bad, satisfies me. But
that's true.
It wasn't even bad. It was awful. Like, I was
This is the thing that gets me though, and I think this depends just how you are as a viewer. And there's nothing wrong. I'm just saying everybody looks at a show different. When I look at a show like this, I enjoyed 90% of the show. So, like, the ending sucks, and I complain about the ending, but I don't feel like I wasted my time watching the show because I enjoyed everything but the ending. Now, not all people feel like that. I know my mom, if it's got a bad ending, she's like, I wasted, 6 hours. And I'm guessing that's how you feel, like you wished you hadn't watched it all. And I'm just curious, like, I don't know. People look at it different because to me, I don't look at it that way. Like, I still enjoyed the rest of it, but it's kind of you can have the opposite too, where you can have a movie or a show that doesn't make a lot of sense in it. And it's kind of, you don't enjoy it. But then when you get to the end and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then it's like such a good ending. It makes you want to go back and rewatch it. So I feel like it can happen both ways. I don't know. I just was curious. Do you guys think it wasn't worth watching then? Like, do you wish you hadn't watched it? Personally,
let's put it this way. I can't say that I wish I hadn't watched Lazarus necessarily. I wish I hadn't watched Wayward. Wayward felt like a waste of time.
Yeah, I kind of like that with Wayward too. To be honest, I didn't like Wayward.
So I would not say I wish I hadn't watched Lazarus. I will never watch it again. I will not rewatch it.
I'm not watching it either.
And I will not recommend to any of my friends that they should watch it.
Okay, that's fair.
Except the ones you don't like.
Except the people that like bad TV, who like stupid endings. In this case, the ending does for me color the rest of the whole season.
Me too.
Okay, that's kind of what I was asking. Like, see, it doesn't mean as much. Like, it's irritating, but I don't feel like the rest of it was bad because of that. Like, I still enjoyed it. So I would still say to somebody, well, it's good, but it's got a shitty ending, would be how I would describe it.
For me, it kind of ruins the whole thing because the ending creates plot holes that weren't there before. I almost would have rather that Laz was actually talking to ghosts. Because at least that would have made more sense than what we got, because there's so many plot holes with that. There's so many issues that it brings up that it kind of ruins the whole thing for me.
And
I did say it was going to be a logical explanation, though.
I don't always feel that about a bad ending. Like, I think The 100 has a terrible ending, and not just the last episode, but the last season.
30 seconds?
Well, the last 30 seconds is especially bad. But
it's funny, Karen. I was thinking, when Jamie was asking us that question, I was thinking about The 100, because we hated all of season 4, and they killed the finale, and we were like, let's watch season 6.
See? That's why I said it kind of depends.
That was a show that had some bad seasons and excellent finales. But look, I think the ending of the show was bad, but it doesn't make me think that the entire show was bad. Okay. But in this case, I kind of think a bad ending of Lazarus makes me feel like most of the show was bad. And look, I had issues with the show from the jump. I wasn't in love with the show.
She did. She hated Laz.
I hate Laz. I hate the main character. I hate Laz. So.
You hate a lot of main characters that we talk about.
You do. Karen's very selective with her characters. All right. So they go to find him. Lazarus finds out where Sam is at. He goes to the water and he tells him he knows he did it. He beats him up. Sam ends up almost drowning him, and then he gets the upper hand when Aiden comes back, and he almost drowns Sam, because Sam does admit that he killed Sutton, but he clearly has a mental problem, because he thought Sutton was coming on to him when she was like yelling at him, and he was going to rape her. So, she screamed, he killed her. I don't know. How do you feel finding out Sam was the killer of Sutton? I think that worked out, because I think I had thought he was the killer and then moved on. Like, I had already written him off as being the killer and thought, oh, he's just sad. He's lonely. He's maybe got some issues, but I really didn't think he was the killer. So I think that ending, if we're saying there's multiple endings, I think that ending was okay. Like, I liked how that played out.
I agree. I was on board with poor Sam. He gets accused of this thing that he didn't do, and everybody treats him like a piece of shit the rest of his life, only to find out he really was the killer. And it's like, oh, damn. I thought that was done well.
Okay. What about you, Karen? Do you agree?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, he's clearly much sicker than we thought he was, or we had been shown, right? I mean, there is this part where he's like, I love Sutton. Like, this idea where he obviously was a stalker with her. And when she turns around and looks at him in horror, and I mean, this was kind of disturbing, where she's like trying to get away from him, and he's like, oh, she came on to me. She threw herself at me, when really he assaulted her. And then the typical thing where it's like, oh, she made me kill her. I had to kill her. She made me do it. It's all very, it's what's surprising to me is that maybe he hasn't killed other young women, and maybe he has.
I was going to say, in his defense, I think he believed it. I don't think like you said, a lot of times they say that. I do think in his case that he really believed that she was I don't think he realized what he was doing. I think he was really mentally unstable.
Jamie, I got news for you. That's all killers like this.
Well,
they all blame the victim.
No, but I'm saying I believe that he, I don't think that he just was using an excuse and wanted to rape her and was like, oh, she came on to me. I think he really believed it.
That's the thing. None of them, but people, these
that's not
mentally
not
disabled.
A lot of rapists are rapists.
But what I'm saying is, these type of characters that we see a lot of all the time and everything, they never, I say this all the time, the villain never sees themselves as the villain. You know what I mean? They Sam clearly perceives things very different than a normal person, and a lot of, your Jeffrey Dahmers and Ed Geins, they didn't see anything wrong with what they were doing. They perceived things as, doesn't make it right. They all believe it.
This character is severely disturbed and violent and dangerous.
Yes.
And and again, maybe he's killed other people. It's hard to believe that he killed Sutton and didn't and got away with it, and then didn't
because you know what, he couldn't kill anybody else because everybody's been watching him for the last 20 fucking years.
Nobody would go near him for 20 years. Yeah. But like, yes, that all played out. Like, it's fine with me how that played out, and he turns out to be the killer, and it kind of
I thought
sense.
That was done very well.
Right up until the part where, except for the part where he's hanging out with Aiden, which makes no sense at all.
Well, apparently, I mean, I guess we should have paid more attention to him hanging out with Aiden, and Aiden's like, he gets me. He's weird too. We should have been like, oh, Aiden's the killer.
Yeah, we probably could have at that point. You're right.
Yeah.
Actually, what's really funny is at one point I actually thought Allison killed
Sutton.
No, the secretary there, Billy's mom.
Yeah, I did too.
Margo.
I did too.
Yeah,
because
Margo.
I thought
I keep forgetting her name. I don't know why.
I thought that she had. I thought that maybe up until the very end, I assumed that Margo figured out what had happened. That her and Lazarus.
Yeah, that's kind of what. That's what I kind of thought too.
Yeah. So that was definitely my thoughts. All right, let's see what's next. Hold on. All right, so then Lazarus goes kind of off the deep end a little bit more, trying to find him. And let's see, we go to the bar. I did like this conversation between them where she's like, what do we do now? And he said, I think this is where people say, now we grieve. Like that they finally maybe can start to move on. So I enjoyed that. I also thought it was cute that that his sister ended up with Seth. Not that they needed to, but it was just cute. I liked that they put them together in the end. And then let's see what else is next. So then this is where they can't find the evidence. They keep telling him that his father committed suicide and they're not listening to him. And this is when he starts to find the other victims. And this woman they thought was killed by Arlo, whatever his name was.
The wacko in the
wacko in the mental institution. The serial killer in the mental institution. Not that everybody's there is wacko, but the serial killer in the institution that we saw at the very beginning of the show. And the one woman he killed was actually his father's girlfriend, or that they thought he killed. Sorry, he didn't kill.
Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't kill her.
Yeah, no, he didn't. This is where he suddenly sees Arlo. And, I think at this point, had he seen himself yet? I didn't go through all the photos, so I might have
as a child, yeah.
Because as soon as
that's when I started.
At a child, yeah, you question it. And I thought there's either two explanations. One is that, like, it could be prophetic. I can't say it. And like how when he saw Margo, maybe he saw her like right before she died, and then he was gonna die. That was a possibility. Or he's not seeing dead people. And I think that's part of what shows like this is all through his father's point of view and everything. But yeah, that kind of twisted everything when he saw himself. And then whenever he saw Arlo, I kind of wondered, I wonder if he's not dead. And clearly he wasn't. Because he calls and he's there at the hospital. And then we find out none of that stuff even actually happened because the cut on his hand wasn't real. Or never happened. It was a cut on his father's hand. And then we see Allison here throw the suicide note into the fire. Now, what the suicide note, then I assume he told them what happened. I mean, you have to assume that's what was in it. Do you concur?
I don't know about that. I mean, I guess why would she burn it? I don't know if he. I
don't know that it was important.
Faston said that she was in on it, or it implied she was in on it. So she
no. I think she says later to Laz, she says, "I can spare you so much pain if you just drop this." I think it said like, "I killed all these people, and now I'm killing myself," and she burned that to like preserve his reputation. And so that the kids wouldn't be traumatized by learning their father was a killer. He was dead. It was going to stop. I don't think he probably wrote in it. And by the way, Allison is forcing me to kill myself.
No. I'm saying I think that she might have figured out that if they knew that he killed people, that she would be implicated. Not that he actually said she was a part of it. I didn't mean it like that.
I feel like it doesn't matter at all because you can't make it out when she throws it in the fire, so you can't even freeze frame it to read it. And as soon as she died, my first thought was, we're never going to know what page 1 said.
Another thing.
It clearly doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
True. True. All right.
I gotta say that scene with the chase with her and Laz was pretty funny how it ended.
Well, yeah, let's get to that. So
basically fucking trips and gets run over by a bus.
Yeah, so this is where he figures it out. I did like when he started to put the pieces together. So we have this scene. I want to talk about this scene first because this scene is kind of out separate from that stood out, that didn't make tons of sense with what he was finding out, and we find out later why. This is where Seth talks to this guy and they talk about the murder weapon, and it kind of was like, I was thinking, if it was Allison to cover it up, like, why would you use a sickle or whatever you call it? It looks like a sickle. Like, why would you? It just didn't make sense. It wasn't computing.
This is the weapon.
There was good reason. But...
This is
actually why I thought it was Allison for a minute.
Oh, really? Why? Tell me.
Because Seth is telling Allison about it, and he says this is probably the murder weapon, very similar to one that we already have here in evidence.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought maybe she went into the evidence room. That's a smart murder right there. You already have a piece of a murder weapon in evidence, so nobody's going to think that you know what I mean? Like, nobody would suspect to look at the weapon that you already have.
So Aiden has been using multiple of these weapons to kill people and leave it behind, and then get a new one to kill the next person. Or Aiden,
I don't know. I think it was two separate.
No, they already had this weapon in. I don't know where this one came from, but they already had this.
It was from another city, so I don't think it had anything to do with this case. I think it was just.
But you know what? Aiden could have killed before, and left it behind.
Or Sam could have killed before, and he's mentoring Aiden how to kill using the same weapon.
I guess that's possible, but I took it as because it was supposed to have happened in a different city, and this is like a kid that doesn't have a car. I kind of took it that this was something that had absolutely nothing to do with it, and he was just saying, I recognize, because this is literally what he said, I recognize the wounds because it looked like the wounds in this case. I never thought they were implying it was the same murderer that was.
I don't think it's from another city. It's in their evidence. They pulled it out of their own evidence.
No, that guy was saying, this guy, hold on, let me find I lost the window. Hold on. This guy, that's not the right window either. Where did it go? I got too many windows open, people. Anyway, the coroner guy, he said something like that he saw it when he was, I don't know if he said on vacation, but he saw it when he was somewhere.
Why would he be on vacation investigating some murders?
He wasn't. He said that something about, I don't remember exactly what the conversation was, but it was something like he saw this happen when he was at the city or whatever. And he ended up working the case because he was there. I'd have to go back and listen to it. I think he said he was on vacation.
Isn't that pretty much every episode of Murder, She Wrote? She's on vacation somewhere.
My point was, I took it just as saying, this is why I recognized the wounds, that I didn't think they were supposed to be connected. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't think they were.
Yeah, no, again, whether they're connected or not, it doesn't matter. My point was, that's why I thought that it was Allison, because that would be brilliant. If you're in law enforcement, you take a weapon that's already been used in another murder to use it in another murder that they'll never, I thought that's why I started thinking about Allison. Which, hey, would have been better than the shit they gave us.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. All right.
Yeah.
So then this is when he talks to Laura and ends up bringing her into his investigation, which, since he's not a cop, he can do that. And I do appreciate. I don't think, because the reason why I liked it is, okay, he's seeing these pieces come together, right? He's like, she was involved in this, one of his cases and this kind of thing. And I like that instead of him just like freaking out like he'd been doing all along, she did it. He looks at her and he's like, is this not strange? At least he like asked her opinion. This does seem like she's guilty, right? This doesn't make sense.
what's dumb about it is this, like, they're all the worst psychiatrists and so unprofessional and so horrible. And this woman that, as far as we can tell, he's met twice, who he has one date with, has sex, and now she's his girlfriend. And now, like, how does Aiden know that, like, it's his girlfriend who nobody has met? Like, it's just so crazy, all of this with Laura, the whatever Laura. And then he brings her into his, like, investigation. I mean, if you're trying,
maybe there's some things. Sorry, we can't. I'm not meaning to talk over you. I question that there's some things that maybe they just left out and didn't explain, because I kind of assumed that his mother sent him to this sent him to the therapist because she was looking for a new psychiatrist, and I figure Laz was maybe like, "Hey, I know this person he might like," and they just didn't put that in the story. Because they
but you can't out. Like, you understand how it's bad writing when you have to make shit up to.
Yes, no, I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Like, you just had to make
Jamie,
that up.
Jamie, you have said many times in the past 20 minutes, I assume what they were saying is.
I know, because you're trying to do it.
And I'm trying to give what I think happened, not that it's necessarily even right, but just.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they're all just horribly unethical. And if you like this woman and you want, like, I don't know, on the second date, I don't like to get involved in your murder investigation and your hallucinations. Right? Like, to me, it was just these. Like,
you have no sense of adventure, Karen.
Crazy. To me, I just thought the whole thing with this woman was ridiculous. And I don't even know why they wrote her in. Could he not just have been like having his sister be his partner and solving it? Like, I felt her whole character was shoehorned in there for no reason.
Let me say this about Harlan Coben, you expect a certain degree of but this just went.
This went above and beyond the what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. All right. So anyway, he figures out the clues. The point we were making that we kind of skipped over actually saying was that the cop Allison was involved in his father's psychiatric cases. And we find out after, by him accusing her, that his father was helping her solve these cases. And
he was feeding her.
Let's first talk about this, because I do want to talk about this really quick, and then we'll get to that. So he brings the information to Seth, who doesn't believe him, and they fight, and eventually he listens, and he brings her in, and she immediately, like you said, tells him, I can prevent you from feeling pain, don't keep going, whatever. And then she knocks over the table and zaps Seth with the
she tastes Seth,
which was awesome.
That was so funny.
And I'm kind of like, okay, you want them to believe you're not guilty, then you're going to do this. Like, why?
Yeah, I thought this was so dumb that she has.
I thought it was funny. It's like her panicking, but don't, like, she shouldn't.
Okay, but it's not like funny. It's not a comedy, right? It's not a comedy. It's not
Are
supposed
you
to be
sure?
funny. I thought it was so dumb. I thought it was so dumb that this woman has successfully concealed multiple crimes for decades, and then she just immediately, like, admits it and runs. Like, no effort. What was her plan? Like, if she ever was found out, like, apparently she had no plan at all. I thought it just seemed ridiculous to me that she was so smart and clever for literally like 30 years, 20 years, right? At least 20 years. And then just, like, blows it in this, like, very, like, amateurish kind of escape, like running away from, zapping another cop and tasing another cop and then running away from. I was like, what am I watching? What has this just become on my screen? I thought it was dumb.
That made the whole scene. I agree with Bob, but that made the whole scene when she fucking tases Seth. That was hilarious.
I thought that was great. I get what Karen's saying. It is.
No, I agree with what Karen's saying. I absolutely agree with what Karen's saying. It's like, it's like they wrote these characters and then said, oh, but they're going to do this thing that makes no sense.
Yeah, because we only have 6 episodes. We're out of time to write a good story, so we got to finish it.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, he goes after her, he chases her, and splat. That was awesome. I'm sorry. That was fantastic.
And did you hear hear the pop when the bus runs over her
yeah.
head. Popping sound like a pumpkin.
Her
popping.
head went squish. And of course, we find out after that Lazarus, whenever they go back and show us that she had shown him the tape, so he goes and gets it off her body before, of course, because he had to figure out what it was and
because he has to steal because everybody steals evidence all the time.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
Yeah. And then we have Aiden going to see Laura, which we already know. All right. So then he listens to the tape. Now, I also really like the way this played out. So it's my understanding, which it was a little unclear, this part to me, but I'm guessing, and it's my understanding from this, that his father got her to help him put away the wrong killer because these were killers that they couldn't catch. So they kind of almost faked evidence a little bit. And obviously he was using it to cover up his murders.
No.
But
she was helping. She was framing people to cover up his murders.
Right. But she didn't know this until later because she came in and she said, I know what you did. I know what we did. So he was lying to her. That was quite clear.
He was feeding her information about his patients to frame them for murders that he had actually committed. He was using Allison, and she was so ambitious that she kind of
I thought that they were maybe trying to fake evidence in order to get people they couldn't catch, because she said something she said about like that they wouldn't get them. But I see what you're saying. I wasn't sure about that part, but he definitely lied to her, and she didn't know he was killing these people is the point. And she found out that he was killing the people, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. We could turn ourselves in, don't really want to do that. So you're going to kill yourself and blame yourself for everything so I can get away. It's kind of what she said in a nutshell, right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Who was friends with her agreed to do it. So how he could say, oh, she forced me to kill myself. Oh, bullshit. You could have went to prison. She didn't force your hand. You chose to take the easy way out, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. So yeah.
I mean, if you consider that the easy way.
Well, I consider shooting yourself in the head so you don't have to go to prison for the rest of your life, I think is the easy way compared to spending your life in prison. Or at least I look at it that way. It wasn't what he wanted to happen. So to him, it was definitely the easy way. Not easy, but easier than spending his life.
You know what would have been really easy? He could have just killed her, and then nobody would have known.
Yeah, why didn't you just kill her? And
okay, that was the easy way.
he's very good at killing people and hiding their bodies and covering stuff up. Why did he just kill her?
Yeah, you're right. He is quite good at that, so he should have. But
I mean, she seems to be the only smart person on the police force, so they never would have suspected him.
Yeah. She was going to get away with it until Laz screwed it up. So we do see that he tried to call Laz, which we knew happened. And I think this scene was sad, watching them and him, knowing that, seeing like those last moments. I think it was sad.
I just realized something. We know what page 1 was. He said it.
Oh, it was what he was saying.
Oh yeah, he was speaking it like out loud, right? Narrating it.
Oh, okay. You're right. I didn't really think about it, but I think you're right. You're probably right. So I'd have to go back and listen. But
I completely forgot.
And he does admit to Lazarus how he killed her. And yeah, his point is that these people didn't. His idea, though, was so awful, in my opinion. Like, his reasoning made absolutely no sense. And I know he's nuts. But like, to say that these people were suffering and they didn't deserve to live, like, I understand maybe him killing her.
Not that they didn't deserve to live. He was easing their pain.
Yeah, but he said that like their pain wouldn't get better. But like, I look at it like, okay, I could see somebody saying she murdered somebody. She deserves to die. She's not going to get better. But to say somebody like Harry, who was molested, to say that he deserved to die when he was completely the victim, to me was like the really awful thing.
Because he was easing his pain. Yeah, right.
Didn't deserve to die, but
this is like Sam. Oh, she came on to me, and we see what really happened. Oh, she loved, blah, blah. It's the same mentality. It's just that's how his father saw things. These people are in pain.
Like,
they're never going to get better. By me killing them, they no longer have to suffer.
Yeah.
He was doing them a favor, Jamie.
Yeah, well, either way, he was a bad serial killer, and he deserved to be caught or to die or whatever, to have something happen to him.
But this is where, but once Laz figures it out, this is where the entire thing goes out the window, because how is he having these conversations with his father if he's sitting in his room listening to
which to me means either Lazarus is really seeing ghosts or he's
not
having a mental breakdown.
He's not seeing ghosts. We know he's not seeing ghosts because we see him listening to tapes, and Jenna figures it out at the end.
But the way that I look at it is technically you don't know that he didn't listen to the tapes after he saw the ghosts.
And then see the ghosts?
The same conversations that I already saw. Like
at the end of the show, Jenna listens to those same tapes and she figures out that Laz wasn't seeing ghosts.
Yeah, but they didn't actually say that. It could have been. I don't know.
Go back and watch that. Go back and watch that scene, Jamie. Go back and watch that scene when Jenna starts listening to the tapes, and the look on her face says it all.
Okay, I didn't notice the look on her face, but my point was just it could both be true because it solves the problem of how he saw his father.
There's no supernatural.
I think it. I don't think there's supernatural either. I'm just saying, to me, it was left a little vague. But the point is, he knows what his father did. Now Lazarus can hopefully move on. I don't know that he can, but Oh, and there's the idea that he says that like it's cyclical and the sins of the father and all that. We kind of talked about that because this is when he finds out after the fact that Aiden killed Laura. They show a couple things and then.
Well, we don't even know that he did that. He says sorry, but we don't see a body, so we don't know that he actually did.
We see a bloody sickle.
We assume.
I have to assume there's blood on it. I'm going to assume he killed her.
But we don't know.
You're right. We don't. He could have maimed her. He could have come in and killed a killer. We don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think he killed her, but we don't know. I mean, to say we don't know is kind of like saying we don't know that he didn't see a ghost. No, we know that he killed her, we know that Aiden killed her, and we know that Laz didn't see ghosts.
Yeah.
This was so dumb. This was so dumb that Aiden is a killer at the end. It was so dumb.
I think if they had just left the last 10 or 15 minutes off, it would have been fine. So
it would have been way better to not.
They could have ended it with Laz leaving his father's office and just that could have been the end.
Yeah. Even the whole it was in his head and it wasn't ghosts. That wasn't as bad. It was more this that was bad. The whole Aiden thing was what the horrible part was.
I can't imagine what meeting at Netflix happened where they're like, oh yeah, we think that is a cool ending. I don't know if
Prime.
Well, this isn't Netflix.
Prime.
So they didn't have that meeting.
Maybe Harlan Coben has total creative control and can they don't.
Maybe Harlan Coben is having mental issues.
The truth is, though, for all we know, he could have ended it before. And if Prime came back and said, "We want you to give it a shot," you never know.
We can't necessarily just blame Coben in this one.
Yeah, I blame
This was a group effort.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I could not get an interview like I wanted originally before this aired, or I would probably have asked. No, I wouldn't have asked that way. Not in that way, anyway. Let's put it that way.
No, I'm glad you didn't, because that means you would have watched the whole series and you would have been like, "Yeah, well, hold on, guys, it keeps getting better."
Well, it did. It did get better until it got really shitty. I liked it until the last 10 minutes. That's all I'm saying. If they had just cut that end off, it would have been fine, and I would have been fine.
Look, the Harlan Coben body of work is it's at a certain level. These are not the best television series I've ever seen. They're not the worst television series I've ever seen. Yeah. I enjoy watching them. I burn through them. They are fine. I don't expect them to be award-winning.
I really liked Shelter, though. I thought Shelter was
really good. Shelter was really good.
And so was Safe, the one with Anthony Michael.
Yes.
Not Anthony, whatever. Dexter. Yeah, that one was really good. There were a couple that were pretty good. Some of them better than others. That last one, not so much. But they're different. All right. So do we want to do Talamasca next, or do we want to go to Pluribus?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Well, I know how to figure it out. Do we want to talk about something new, or does Karen want to complain about the main character some more?
Well, this was I am going to complain about the main character of Talamasca, but I thought it was generally a better episode.
Do you want to get through it quick?
Let's just do it quickly. And then we can
okay, hold on. I got to open the image. Give me 1 sec, and then we will continue.
All right.
Now you're making me open another window, Karen.
Sorry.
No, I'm just teasing because you don't know how many windows I have open. I'm getting really confused.
You know, it's funny. Karen and I were having this a conversation about windows before the podcast.
Because my camera is so jerky, I was like shutting down everything else on my computer to try to conserve resources. And I commented that I have a lot of tabs and apps open on my computer. Because I never
pretty much every show open because I opened the pictures so they worked ahead of time, and now I have like too many and I'm getting confused. So we're going to close Harlan. There we go. Okay. So I got one closed. All right. So let's talk about Talamasca first, and then we'll do, whoa, don't do that. That will get that video blocked. That was not meant to happen. All right. So that is really dark and hard to see. All right. So let's hear what AJ thought first. If anybody wants to hear a deep dive and missed it, it is on the stream or on the live tab from yesterday. You guys can watch it. But what did you think, AJ?
I thought it was a really old vampire.
Well, yeah, it is a really old vampire.
No, like this episode. Did you like this? What did you think about this?
I worry as a whole about the immortal universe because I really enjoy Jasper. He's a lot of fun. I don't like Doris. I want to say her name's Doris.
Yeah, the witch, the other witch, the witch.
She's driving me fucking crazy. She's very annoying. Like, go away. Like, he already told you, back off. Go away. Go back to your little coven. Go on your fucking boat and sail off. Like, she's really fucking... Now she's in the back of the fucking car, hiding under the blankets. Like, I don't know. She kind of irritated me this episode.
Interesting.
I just... Overall, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was, I thought it was very revealing. And it kind of makes you question what everybody really what everybody really wants this book, which I'm pretty sure is a flash drive now.
Yeah.
There's so many different stories. I'm wondering what it's all really going to come to be about. I mean, nobody trusted Talamasca, including those in the Talamasca.
Talamasca, yeah.
I mean, so we finally find out Helen, that girl with Helen, is her twin. It was a whole group of twins.
A sister.
Okay, I was going to say Karen differs on this. I think she was a twin too. I agree with you, but Karen does not.
Look at that one little girl is much taller.
They're twins.
I don't know that I'd say much taller. And they could be fraternal twins.
She says to the guy in the cemetery, "My memory's not what it used to be. Have I been here before?"
Okay, we also disagreed on that interpretation.
Let
me ask you something first, AJ, before we talk about that. Let me ask you, what did you think about them showing the old vampire at the beginning? Because Karen pointed out, which was true, that it really wasn't necessary, and it kind of gave away the ending ahead of time, what was really going on. Like, do you think that it should have been...
Oh, yeah, I thought it was pretty obvious what was happening.
Okay, I just want to ask that.
Because they showed you this old vampire in the cold open.
Yeah. The other thing is we talked about is there is no point to Olive. Like, they should have just had Helen be the handler because she doesn't do anything hard. Like, what she does, Helen could have done. But as for this scene about the sisters, I think they're twins.
Twins.
I took the interpretation of the scene when she's talking to this guy. When she says, "Did I come here? I have bad memory." I took it to be as she's saying, "Did my twin come here who looks exactly like me?" But people seem to not want to say that. So she's saying herself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I took.
That's how I took it. Karen thinks that she's maybe really has some memory problems. So yeah, we kind of differed on that.
You know why I think that? Because she hasn't seen her sister in 40 years when they both had black hair. And why would she think that her sister, has her sister totally bleached her hair platinum and cut it the same way and everything? What?
That's called bad writing.
The sister wouldn't look like her if she showed up.
You thought too hard about that.
I said though that's also not necessarily true though, because a lot of twins that grow up on the other sides of the world end up looking the same or marrying the same type of people and stuff. That's been a proven fact. So you don't know.
Not a lot. Some.
All right. Well, I mean, the reason I think it's a twin, I think that she's a twin for a couple of reasons. One, in that scene with the other woman who has a twin, they were at the institute together. They were clearly doing some kind of study on twins with powers. I think it's a twin.
If Guy has a secret twin, I'm done watching this show. I will not watch this show anymore.
No, Guy doesn't have a secret twin. He wasn't there 50 years ago.
Yeah, but maybe all psychics have twins. Who knows?
Well, I think her sister is his grandmother, maybe, or aunt or whatever. All right, so we have a lot with Guy and Jasper, and I think everybody, as we talked to this, agreed that Jasper's still the most interesting part of the show.
Absolutely.
Which is a problem.
Absolutely. But he also had the best line when
I love this line. Yeah, he's like, "We're going down to the bedroom."
Where are we going? My kill room.
My kill room.
Yeah,
that was awesome. I love that.
That's great.
All right. We also get to see more of Checkers, who is completely vamped out. All right. So the other thing we kind of discussed, which I don't know, I guess I hadn't picked up on because I didn't think enough about it as I watched it until after. But we were Karen was talking about how clearly this whole thing was a setup from Jasper because he knew that guy was there.
Oh yeah, that was clearly
never intended him to find the book. Yeah, I should have picked up on that and didn't, and I feel dumb that I didn't think about it. But as I said, I wasn't watching it deep enough the first time to really pay attention to that. But he sends him to the hotel. Well, first he heals him. He gave him his blood to ingratiate himself with him a little better.
Yeah, he's like, rules and stuff. I'm not supposed to do this, but I like you.
Yeah, so I'll help you out. So he sends him to the hotel, and he goes in this swanky hotel, and we meet this guy steals his pills, which Karen, remind me his name because I've already forgotten.
Raglan James.
Raglan James, okay, who was in the original series. Now, we both kind of at this point were like, why is Guy suddenly able to be a spy and seems to know what he was doing? But I enjoyed that because it turned out that he still didn't know what he was doing, and he was totally pretending that, like, making it seem like he did. So he was still bad at spying. So I didn't mind that. I liked how they kind of pulled that off. What do you think, AJ?
I enjoyed the scenes with Raglan James. I'm just a little surprised. I guess I don't want to say too much, but I'll just say I guess they're laying seeds, and they felt like Raglan James would be fun in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, in the books, he's killed like 20 years.
I didn't really want to go there.
Well,
no,
but
where I went was so I can't do that.
In the books, he's killed decades before this story is happening. So, like, the timeline, the
timeline is already, but the timeline is already all screwed up from jumping into the future, doing interview first.
Yeah.
Or jumping into the future and doing interview with Daniel as an older man. So it's already screwed up.
You can't take what happens to this character in the books as any indication of what might happen to him on these shows. Because he was dead for 30 years before this time period happened. I enjoyed him in these scenes. I mean, I did think, as Jamie said, I was like, oh, suddenly, like, Guy is better. Suddenly he's gained a little confidence and a little courage and is actually like doing he's a better spy than he was in the last episode. He's still terrible, but he's not as bad as he was.
Yeah, and he seemed to suddenly know what he was doing, but he really didn't know what he was doing because he was totally in over his head, and he was playing him. So I think that worked out well.
This is the second episode in a row where he essentially kidnapped himself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, pretty much. All right, so he won't leave when he tells him to, and I think, okay, he runs into Doris, which, like you said, you don't like Doris. I don't mind Doris, but
I'm just annoying me.
Yeah, I'm more not sure like why she's so involved in the case. And yes, she wants to find out about Kevis's killer, but it to me doesn't necessarily make sense that she's putting her life at risk as much.
Really?
Like Karen said, they're after Talamasca, not necessarily after witches. So who knows what she could do to them? We don't really know.
I mean, she wants to find her friend's killer. And, like Jamie was saying why is she putting herself in danger. I feel like as a member of the, like, a witch in a coven who, like, she's been aware of the Talamasca and vampires and witches far longer than Guy has. She knows how to deal with these people. She's in way less danger than Guy is. She's way less stupid also than Guy is. She's way I feel like she's the person who, I mean, she has to be in the show and be following Guy around to rescue him every time he does something stupid, which is pretty much every time he speaks.
Yes. Because she does go out to the guy in the car and is like, hey, your guy's in trouble, which was a bad pun, but at least she gets him to send checkers in after him. So we have their deal going on where Raglan throws him under the bus and is going to trade him for the blood as opposed to paying for it. And the one thing I mentioned is I kind of thought like Guy gave up his abilities pretty quickly, where he could have still said he's full of shit and kept it going. But I feel like he partially did it. And we discussed this. I know, Karen, you didn't necessarily agree, but I think he partially did it to buy time because he saw that Checkers was in there killing people and he thought it was an out. And that was like why he just kind of kept stalling, I guess. It was how I looked at it. I don't know. What do you think?
You could stall without reading somebody's mind.
True.
I mean,
I love the picture that came out to like the right moment, right when he gets shot. So yeah, he thinks it will force Guy to read the vampire's mind. Oh, we did have one. I do want to ask you one thing, AJ.
To read his thoughts. To read his thoughts.
I know. I keep saying
I cannot read your mind. Guy can only hear what you're currently thinking in the front of your mind.
Yes, I just keep calling it that, but yes, I know you mean that. But I did want to ask you though, the one thing to me that made no sense, which we kind of went back and forth, is it just bad writing? Is Guy just stupid? Really, it's not bad writing that they want him to hear this. But clearly, Jasper and what's the other guy's name? I forget his name already. The other vampire.
I have no idea.
I want to call him Humphrey, and that's not right. But the other
Hudson.
Yeah. Okay. Clearly, they and Daniel could tell when Guy was reading their minds. So why did Jasper say to Guy, I need you to go in there because you can read the vampires' minds without them knowing? Like, was it just he knew that they'd know and it was a setup, or is that just bad writing?
I didn't think they knew.
Jasper knew. He immediately, as soon as
Jasper knew. No, yes, Jasper knew.
And Hudson
Jasper is also in his own league. I don't think the other vampire, nobody in the hotel knew. He was reading their minds when he was down in the and none of them flinched.
Right, but Hudson knew. So two of the vampires we've seen,
and Daniel knew.
Okay.
So just hear me out here. So Jasper says, Guy, I need you to go in there because you can read vampires' minds without them knowing. Guy has only met 3 vampires in his life, and all 3 of them immediately knew he was reading their minds. And like Guy doesn't protest at all.
Okay. Jasper's in his league of his own because Jasper caught him doing it that night when he was meeting with
Yes.
But I think that might be because with Archie. Hudson knew what he was going to be trying to do.
Fair, but Daniel knew, and Daniel isn't like an old vampire. He's a fairly new vampire.
I think Daniel knew because Daniel's just Daniel. Like he was just like.
Well, Daniel, who gave Daniel the gift? Was it Louis or was it Armand?
Lestat.
It was Lestat. It was Lestat who gives.
Well, yeah, all right. You know what? I don't know. Actually, I take that all back. I don't know who gave it to him in the show. In the book, it was Lestat.
Okay, I thought it was Armand in the series, but I don't know.
So in the show, it's either Louis or Armand. I think it might be Armand.
I think Armand would make sense because Louis has vowed to never make another vampire.
Yes. And in the Immortal Universe, I think the older and more powerful your maker, the more powerful you can be because you have drunk more powerful blood, right?
In this show.
In the show, yeah.
Because that's not the case in the book.
Yeah.
Okay. So Armand was pretty powerful. Okay.
In the show, which would make it. But I just kind of object to guys like, what are you talking about? Every vampire I've ever met knows I'm reading their mind, right? Like I know AJ what you're telling us, but I feel like it's just another stupid thing that guy does. Like, really? They can't tell I'm reading their mind because pretty much all you guys
didn't.
But they didn't. I didn't know that when he went in. What I'm saying is, Guy takes Jasper's word for it and just goes in there. Now, in this case, Jasper was telling the truth.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I also want to put up Golden Child's comment said the witches to Guy like Penny was to Inspector Gadget in the 80s.
She is.
Yeah, kind of. That's funny.
Or like Agent 99 to Get Smart.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was thinking.
Because she also was like the brains of the operation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't mind her so much in the last episode, but this episode, I just I don't know. I just feel like
she got on your nerves, huh?
She was just got on my nerves. She was just annoying.
All right.
Like when she got in the elevator with them, I was like, "What the hell is she think she's doing?"
Yeah, we're not sure.
Yeah,
and I know she's a witch, and she's probably got some juice of her own. But yeah, I don't know what she thinks she's going to accomplish hiding in the back of the car.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that seems like a very bad idea, right?
Yeah, it's interesting that this show has introduced witches and hasn't given us any idea of what they're capable of. I guess they're assuming you must have watched Mayfair Witches to understand what witches can do.
Yeah, but that's the Mayfair family. That doesn't mean all
that's
witches.
True. Those are the Mayfair witches. You're right.
So what did you think, AJ, about the fact that when Checkers comes in, why do you think he's killing these people, ripping them apart and not drinking their blood? Because clearly that thing is not on his face. So either they made a mistake or, I don't get the point of that. Or is it just he's so loyal he won't even try to drink their blood?
Or is it bad writing?
I'm going with the assumption that it's what he clicked him to do.
All right.
So he's so obedient and loyal that he does.
Honestly, I was a little confused myself that he was being so stealthy. I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a fledgling vampire. That's kind of what I thought.
Well, he doesn't seem like a stealthy. He's noisy. He's big.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a stealthy guy either. So
he's violent. Yeah.
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 So I did have the picture of her getting in the trunk. Well, that was as close as I could get to get.
She already.
All right. So Checkers kills them all. And we have lots of pictures of heads and body. Well, not lots of pictures, but some pictures of heads and body parts and everything. And he's like, give me the book. And he's like, what the fuck you talking about? I don't have a book. I got blood. And I had a picture somewhere of the suitcase, I thought. Maybe not. But anyway, we know that he took ancient blood and that he's going to sell it. And that was what he was there for the deal. And he gives Guy a vial. And then Guy immediately goes and throws his pills out the window, which we both agreed was really stupid and done more for effect. Because you wouldn't do that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And then Jasper comes in. He gives him the blood vial.
Why not put him in the toilet?
Yeah. And then we see, this is where he explains that this old vampire they've been draining of blood, and they're trying to sell it. And he's trying to show him how bad the Talamasca is, which this really does not prove, but that's what he's saying.
Well, you know what I think is interesting?
I kept saying, I don't buy what he's selling. Yes. Whoops.
Is there anybody that Guy has met that has had anything nice to say about the Talamasca?
Helen.
Yeah,
has she though? has she said nice things?
Yeah, I mean, she's been saying bad things about him.
She's kind of running she's kind of running her chapter to dictate the Talamasca, what the direction they're going in. She's not a big fan overall.
Yeah, but I mean, she definitely gave Guy a sales pitch that it was a great organization doing great work.
Yeah, because she wants him to work there.
Yeah, because she wanted to use them.
Right, but you said, has anybody he met had anything nice to say? Yes, she has.
All right, technically she has.
Right.
Yes, yeah. Based on the way I asked.
And the people that, and to be fair, the people that say bad things about the Talamasca are Jasper, who is like
anti-Talamasca.
The Talamasca exists to watch vampires and other. Right.
I gotta say, he's very convincing.
Yeah.
I mean, he is, but he's very. I mean, he gives.
I mean, I know he's up to something, but I feel like there's a little bit of truth to what he says too.
Yeah.
There is, but it's thin. Like, he gives Guy his origin story. If you believe it's true, it's the story of how Jasper, his.
I might be a little jaded because of reading the books, and I know what.
His coven was slaughtered, and he was left without a family, and blah blah blah. And he's clearly trying to parallel his story to Guy's story, and be like the Talamasca ruins families. But he's basing it on this one Talamasca agent who told this vampire where he could seek revenge. Right, like one Talamasca agent gave up a piece of information. And Jasper wants to take down the entire organization. And I get it, I guess. If one CIA agent caused my family to be killed, I would hate the whole CIA, right? But it's a pretty thin, this is what they do, Guy. The Talamasca ruins families. They break up families. They now granted, we saw that they broke up Helen's family also. But I think Jasper, I mean, he's definitely trying to manipulate Guy, right? And convince Guy to put his money where his mouth is. But it's a little thin. The connection's a little thin, right? Because 100 years ago, one Talamasca agent did this thing. Now, Raglan's a Talamasca agent, and he's a double agent.
Which is why he wanted him to see him.
No, Raglan is just out for himself.
He is. He's a Talamasca agent and a black marketeer and out for himself. But I mean, I get it, and I get why Guy would fall for it. But it's not.
No, I get it too. Because I mean, Raglan has been protect yourself from them. Daniel's don't trust them. They're using you.
Which they are.
And Daniel's speaking from experience because he was kind of used by them too.
Okay, but Guy went in. Guy knows they're using him. He went in with his eyes open. Guy knows they're using him for his mind trick, right? And Helen basically says, "I need someone they don't know to go in there." Guy knows he's being used. For Guy to be all this whining, they're using me, blah blah blah. They won't tell me the truth. But I'm dude, you're being used. You agreed to be used.
True.
All right, so this guy tells Jasper to kill him. He cuts his head off, and we talked about how bloody this scene was, which was very much so.
And yet kind of low grade special effects.
Yeah.
Oh. And then the other part is that Ridge has the jump drive that she got, that Soledad had, that she looks at without using gloves, which we discussed. And there's some kind of encoded file on it. And it sounds like all three of us are in agreement that this is
the 752.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too. And then there's Helen trying to find out about the guy who did whatever he did at the Institute. And we find out that Doris is in the trunk, and also that Guy tries to play it off like he doesn't know who she is. And he's like, we can figure it out together. Like he knows the guy knows who she is. That's such BS. But
he's
there
like,
you go.
Two smart guys like us.
We can figure it out.
So there you go.
So I did. So last night, Jamie and I were talking about this jump drive probably is the 752 or a copy of the 752. And Jasper had said to Guy earlier, Guy, I need to get a copy of this book of the 752 because it tells the location of every living vampire today. And he wants to get a hold of them all to like make more vampires and I don't know, take over the world. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why that would be convincing to Guy to go along with him. But my problem was that the 752 has been missing since 1972. So what it tells you is the location of where they lived 50 years ago, if they haven't moved, these vampires who were alive then, right? Which made
vampires don't like taking the time to move, Karen. They don't like packing up and moving.
Oh. Actually, they kind of like move. Some of them move a lot, but
probably.
But like that was that is stupid. Like it like I was like, what is he even talking about? It's been missing for 50 years. How is it going to tell you the location of a vampire? And then I just had to figure like maybe he's lying. I had to figure maybe he's lying to Guy what it is, right?
Yeah.
I just saw what Golden Child said.
What? We put that up. Where were you? AJ zoned out there for a second, I think.
I clearly did. Why did you put that up already?
Yes, we talked about it.
I totally missed that.
Well, we didn't talk about it long.
We highlighted it before, but
yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what this 752 is, but it's not useful for finding where vampires live.
Yeah, I would agree. Although somebody could have been keeping up with it. We don't know. Whoever had it could have been.
I feel like the 752 isn't what anybody thinks it is.
It might not be.
Yeah.
It might not be. I still have a problem with the fact that they never had another backup of this stuff in the first place or another copy. I know it wouldn't have been a backup back then, but that's more my concern.
I mean, because it's a MacGuffin, because it's not a real thing that we need to care about, right? It's a MacGuffin that everybody wants, and it has no real point, probably.
Right.
All right.
Well,
better episode. That despite all this criticism, it was a better episode.
Yeah,
and Guy was less annoying when he was given something to actually do instead of just like walk around and whine.
Yes. Do you, AJ? Do you like the storyline that's going on with Helen? Karen's annoyed with that storyline.
I don't know the point of it.
Thank you. I think the point of it is to give Elizabeth McGovern something to do.
All right, let us move on to Pluribus now.
Pluribus.
There we go. Whoops, that isn't the first photo? Why am I showing that?
Very late. That's a very.
I know that's the wrong. I got the wrong window open. Hold on.
That's about 3/4 away for the first.
Yeah, I know. I these were the Apple TV photos. That's the wrong folder. So talk for a minute while I'm getting the right one out here.
AJ, so how did you like this new show?
I don't not like it. I mean, there's 2 episodes and a lot of crazy shit's happening, and I'm not really sure where we're going with it. It's an interesting. The second episode especially makes it very interesting. I'd say the people that still look at their family as their family are a bunch of fucking idiots, and I completely agree with her. But I can see why Casanova there. I don't know anybody's names yet. I don't even know her name. Oh wait, Carol. Casanova there. I can kind of see why he's like, "What's the problem? They haven't hurt anybody. They're helping the planet." You know, like I kind of see. I understand his point of view. I feel like he might have been more of a nobody before this happened. and he's kind of making the most of it. But Carol's just cynical to begin with. But she's not wrong. I mean, what's the point if everybody is one?
So, I think, I don't know what this show is about, but in these first 2 episodes, it seemed to be a little bit about like conformity versus free will, and like,
Kind of Borg.
You have to join. If you join the Borg, you get world peace. If you want to be an individual, you have to accept a certain amount of violence and death, right? And so there's that tension. I don't know what the show is either, and I don't not like it. I wonder how long such an intensely unlikable lead character can hold this show, particularly when there's like almost nobody in this show. So like by the end of it, she does agree to get on Air Force One and fly off it. And so maybe there will be other characters, but Carol's really unlikable. And it appears that.
Really? You think so?
Yeah,
yes.
I don't quite
to the
that
point.
Either.
Now listen, she's unlikable to the point that she appears to have no family or friends other than the dead wife. She called nobody. Nobody called. She's not interested if anybody else lived or died. She doesn't know her neighbors. She is alone in this world, except for, I think her wife was named Helen, who is now dead. Like, nobody likes her. Nobody liked her before, and really nobody likes her now.
What are you talking about? Her fans adored her.
Yeah, her fans adore her.
I don't know. She hated all of her fans, and she hated all of her fans. And thought
I liked her because I felt like she was the only one that made sense out of everybody. I have to say, I may have gotten a different impression from this show, because if you guys followed my text, what happened earlier, I watched episode 2 because episode 1 jumped into episode 2 because there was something wrong with it. So I saw episode 2, then episode 1. But it actually worked out. I was lucky, since this is one of the ones where they showed like after, like before and after it happened. It wasn't too hard to follow when I watched it back.
When you watched it in the right order?
Yeah. Because I watched it out of order, but like it made sense. It's like I saw the story and then I saw what caused it. I just thought it was like more alien the whole time until I got to the first episode. Now it makes more sense. But otherwise it made most sense. Most of it made sense and I understood. But I don't know. I'm not sure how to feel. I feel like I'm not sure where they're going with it, so I need to see more. But it's intriguing. I liked it, and I didn't dislike her. I actually liked her. I don't know. I didn't dislike her.
Karen doesn't like any lead characters. It's just her new thing.
She's really unlikable. That doesn't mean
what's unlikable? Wait, what's unlikable about her?
She's abrasive. She's obnoxious. She's rude to everyone. She was rude to everyone before the world ended. She is an alcoholic. Who was she rude to? I mean, she, like, when that person spoke to her in a bar and said, like, have you written anything I would know? And she said, that depends. Are you a fan of mindless drivel or something like that?
I think she was more, I took that more that she was like, she doesn't like what she's writing. Not
okay, but that doesn't mean you have to be rude to a person. Just say, no, I don't think you've read anything. And
no,
go back.
She was rude to him. I will give you that. But I didn't take it quite the way you did. But I do agree.
I don't like her. I don't like her. She's unlikable. I'm not sure I like Reese. I'm not sure.
You like anybody?
I think she's unlikable, and all the other characters dislike her. All the other characters, so all the other living humans hate her, right? Also,
yeah, but they hate, but they're blaming because she's speaking sense. They don't like her because they're blaming her for the people that died when they all started convulsing. Well, how does she know that by telling whatever the hell you want to call them, the Pluribus people, to jump off a bridge and pushed her, and that makes them spaz? How does she know that? How
she didn't know she was going to kill. I'm not condemning her for killing 11 million people.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the other characters are the I don't remember. Was she from India? Was it the one woman from India?
Yeah, Lakshmi.
Really rude woman. Yeah, she was blaming her for all kinds of shit. And then when it happened again, that was not her fault. That was not her fault because they were chasing after her. She she falls down, and then they're on top of her, and she's like, "Get the fuck off me!" And they all start spazzing again.
Yeah, and she was at that point. Lakshmi was yelling too. I want to bring up Golden Child's point though, because it could be right too. I think she experienced some type of trauma, which led her getting a DUI, and the I don't know what that word was supposed to be. The breathalyzer.
Breathalyzer, yeah.
You know, I think that's actually a smart thing. They had that in the car. More people should be.
It's a legal thing that they had it in the car.
She's been convicted. That's why it's in her car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't just buy that. Like
no. I don't know. I've never seen one before, but I didn't know those really exist. Then that they have them in the car.
When you get convicted of a DUI, the police can. One thing they do to you is put that in your car, and your car won't start if you don't blow clean breath.
Interesting. I did not know that. That's a good thing. They need that if they got a DUI, so they don't do it again. Although something could happen where there's an emergency like this, and they can't use the car. But then again, kind of their fault.
But if they were drinking, they shouldn't be driving the car even in an emergency. So
I guess that's true. All right. Samuel also says the Pluribus virus might be lying about the seizures to manipulate Carol. Yeah, we don't really know for sure people died. I kind of wondered if it's not dying and that these people are waking up, because I feel like to say that
they are, because
where there's only six people that are normal, I feel like that's got to change.
No, there's 11. No, there's
11.
12.
Oh, sorry, 11. You're right, 11.
There's 12. No, they said they found another one. Okay, so there's 12, but only 5 spoke English, and that's who she wanted to meet.
But my point is I don't think they can continue the show with only 12 people being normal. I kind of wonder if when she does that and freaks out that they're not dying, they're actually like making more of them, and they don't want her to know that.
Okay, they didn't lie to her about killing people. Lakshmi says when you freaked out, like, and everybody spazzed out and went unconscious, one of the people who was killed was driving a car, was Lakshmi's grandfather, was driving a car and was killed. When let me finish. I see you opening your mouth to speak. Let me finish. Wait, Jamie, let me finish. I said let me finish, and you started to talk.
Go ahead.
And I think like Lakshmi has just because, like AJ said, she didn't mean to kill people. Like, if you didn't mean to kill my father when you ran him over, I would still hate you, right? Like, if you didn't mean to kill my father when you got in a drunk driving accident,
that's completely different.
I'll hate you. And if you didn't mean to kill somebody because you didn't know that they were going to become catatonic, like the aliens become catatonic, whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. I can see why Lakshmi would still hate Carol for causing that.
But those are apples and oranges you're comparing, though, Karen.
I don't think they are.
So okay, hold on. Jamie. So you run somebody over, you're gonna, even though you didn't mean to, you're gonna hate them. I completely agree there. You caused them to have a seizure, which you don't know is going to happen because you know nothing about this weird fucking world you live in now, and that is still the same thing. You run somebody over, you know what's going to happen.
So Lakshmi to say, fine, you didn't cause my father to die. I love you.
No.
Well, no, I'm not expecting to say that. I'm expecting her to not to. She's not a nice person to begin with.
This is the way I look at it.
She's as unlikable as Carol.
The first time she knew nothing of it. Now the second time, I agree, she was in the right to tell them to get off of her, but I could understand if it happened the second time and she was more upset because she knew it could happen. The first time she had no knowledge of it. It's like an accident more so. I equate it to. But I just realized something. The reason why I opened my mouth like that is because I realized I missed an important piece of the puzzle that I for whatever reason, I'm stupid and didn't pick up on. When she said she killed them, I thought that she meant just like, you know how some of them could not be turned or whatever. We don't know why, or like her wife or whatever, right? She died. She didn't become one of them. I thought that whenever they seized, that was what killed them. And when you said that, it just occurred to me, no, people died because they stopped moving in situations where they were killed because they weren't moving, right? Isn't that what you meant?
Yeah.
My brain didn't connect the two things. So other than her father.
Like a pilot was operating a plane and became catatonic.
And then the plane falls. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't connect the dots until you said
Yeah.
So there you go. But Yeah, I think the first time she wasn't aware of it in any way. So I equate that more to an accident, like she fell asleep at the wheel and killed somebody, maybe like something like that. She didn't.
No, I feel like even that's not a good comparison. I don't think that's a good comparison either.
No, it's not a great comparison. Okay, let's go through. Not that we have to go through all of it, but let's see. Did we miss anything? Let's talk a little bit about the whole science thing at the beginning, because this all started because I thought they were going to have a wow signal. It wasn't exactly a wow signal, but. So the aliens sent down a message in RNA, I guess, like it was an RNA sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to ask you, I didn't quite understand how that turned into a virus.
Because it was a recipe. What they sent down was a recipe for a genetic mutation. They sent us the recipe for our own conversion, knowing that these dumbass humans would be like, "Oh, the alien sent us a recipe."
I guess what I'm trying to say is it was more they were altering the DNA of the rat. Then it wasn't exactly a virus. That's what was. I was like, the way they explained it wasn't. Yeah.
Well,
but it came down in an RNA sequence, I guess.
I think we don't need to probably discuss the science, because it probably, if we were scientists, we'd be like, oh my god, I can't watch this show, right? But I mean, the aliens sent a recipe and these people made it, and it was only a matter of time before it escaped into the world.
Yeah, but see, that's where when I watched the second episode, I thought it was aliens, and I didn't. I mean, it's still aliens technically, but it came from a virus.
Yeah, I think we want to stay away from that because it's really not.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying, like, when I saw it, I had not seen the first episode, and I was like, what? I was trying to figure out where it came from, so it makes a little more sense now.
Well, it is. I mean, aliens, like, sent this thing down to assimilate, that caused humans to assimilate into, a universal hive mind, right? It's not just an earthly hive mind, it's a universal hive mind, I think.
Right. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be the aliens are connected to that hive mind. I think only humans are connected to the hive mind, right? They just enabled them to do it. That was how I took it, but maybe not. But she's right. They didn't give them a choice. But anyway, I just wanted to point out, Samuel said that they might have killed her dad to manipulate the other humans. I could see that as a possibility. They want them to be mad at Carol because she's the only one that's, disagrees with them too. There's that.
Actually, I don't think they want people to be mad at Carol. I think disagreement really bothers these people, and they want everyone to get along and be happy. I don't think they're trying to create. They
want to start a rendition of Kumbaya.
I mean, could they be trying to manipulate the remaining people? Maybe, but they see, from what I've seen on the screen, they seem to generally wish for harmony.
Yes. That's the other thing, is if it's supposed to be a human hive mind, what is, I guess, creating that need for harmony? Because see, when I saw it and I thought it was coming from aliens, that made sense because they're different from us. But I have to question that, not that people don't want peace. I don't mean that, but that the whole of humanity, that becomes their goal as a whole. Their only goal is to not hurt anybody, and not, it's just kind of surprising. I wouldn't think that's what, at least in a TV show anyway, would be kind of the consensus, if that makes sense. It's a little
yeah,
strange.
That's a good, yeah. Samuel's got a good,
Go ahead, you do it. So I clicked it off. Kind of like a virus, some RNA that creates a psychic.
Yeah, and they even describe it that way in the show, it being more like a virus.
They did.
I like the psychic glue sci-fi shit word.
Yeah, it makes them a single consciousness, basically.
See, you know what? I've always struggled with these hive mind, single conscious, type things, because it's just my whole thing is, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't know. I assume that it's coming from.
I mean, maybe if I joined a hive mind, I'd understand it better, and maybe
that's what they're trying to tell her.
That's what they're telling Carol, right?
It just, I don't know. I think that's the maybe the point of the show is, individuality over, if you're all doing the same thing and you're all thinking the same thing and everybody's experiencing everything at the same time, what's even the point of existence?
I agree.
I think that's Carol's point, maybe.
Yeah, and Carol's point is more that they didn't get a choice. Like now they're like, oh, this is so great, but they don't know any better now because that's all they see. Like they don't understand what it was. So they put the virus, whatever, in the rats, and then the rat bites the woman, and then the woman kisses the guy, and they spread it then through petri dishes, and they get it all over the whole planet.
I really enjoyed the petri dish scene. That was fun.
Yeah, I know. Like more and more people making petri dishes. And then they put it in the dough. Oh my God, when she licked the donuts.
Yeah.
And all I kept thinking is that actress, like having to do that had to be so hilarious for her to be standing there and doing that. That was funny. All right. So then we find out a bit more about their backstory and her wife. And we can see in the background that stuff is going on and nobody seems to be noticing this because I did notice that when it started going on the TV. But they're drinking and then, whoops, I thought I had a picture. I didn't have a picture when she fell. Her wife suddenly starts shaking and it ends up everybody is shaking. There's her wife there and seizing up because I guess this is when they are being infected and no one is acting like a person. They're all just standing there shaking, but she doesn't know this until she tries to, there's her wife before it happens, tries to save her. She's trying to find somebody to help her. She eventually gets her into this bed of the truck. And there's one of the,
we want to help you, Carol.
Who won't wake up. Yeah. And won't answer her. And then she dies. And, I kind of question, like, they woke up right after she died, right? And I remember thinking when I watched this, like, why didn't she immediately be like, try to help her? They probably could have started her heart again. And I feel like these people might have wanted to do that if she had actually tried. And I don't know that they could have, but I was just sort of surprised that she accepted her wife was dead. And then like 30 seconds later, there's people around that could do something potentially. And I know they probably.
I don't think they could. No, I don't.
I'm saying I don't think they could have. But what I'm saying is I was surprised she didn't try.
Oh, I wasn't. I wasn't.
Dead, and then 30
I wasn't either because she was already dead.
No, to me, I thought it was clear that Helen does not want these pod people touching her wife. These are not people who can help. These are like body snatched pod people.
Yes,
right. And I thought she drags the wife out of there, her wife's body, because she doesn't want these freaks touching her.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Samuel says maybe it's like the Borg trying to achieve perfection. The world child says maybe it's future AI thinking it's doing what's best for humanity. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. My whole point is I'm just surprised that a hive mind of everybody in the planet is like this perfect world peace. You know what I mean? Because there's too many bad people in the world. Like that just surprises me that would be what everybody would come to a consensus on. But I don't think
it's not even. But it's not like that. It's
no individual. There's no individual people.
There's no individuality. There's no good. There's no bad anymore. It's just
right. But it's not like the majority created it. It's just like what it became, I guess.
There is no bad people or good people. There's just the one mind now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
True. Just hard to kind of comprehend, I guess.
I mean, Helen does say later when she is hanging with Pirate Girl, she says to Pirate Girl, I'm not sure, she says like, oh, that's great, you have the entire accrued knowledge of all of humanity, you also have all the memories of all the bad shit everybody did, right? Doesn't she say that?
Yes.
At some point, I don't remember when it was. My timeline's a little messed up, so I can't say that. B says, I was thinking it might be about control and keeping the peace, but it doesn't make sense to me no matter how I think about it. I think the problem is we don't have enough context yet. At least that's what I feel like. We need
I don't know if we'll ever get it. I don't know. Sure. I don't know. I'm not sure that Vince Gilligan is interested in answering those questions, that he's asking bigger questions. And like what actually is happening might not be a thing we ever really get a satisfying answer to.
I don't know. I feel like
it's more. I feel like this show might be more about Carol trying to save the world and like save humanity,
which is pretty fucking ironic.
I feel like we need a little bit more to know which it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only the second. Actually, how many episodes is this? 8?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't look.
I'm not
This
sure.
is only the second episode.
It looks like there are 10 episodes.
10, cool.
Yeah, and this is episode 2. All right, so she gets her into the truck. She takes her to her house, and these creepy kids come over and tell her where the key is.
Can I ask you guys a question? Go back. Can you go back to the front doorway?
Yeah.
How did the luggage? Oh, they're outside. When they get inside, the luggage is all inside the door. And I'm like, how did the luggage get inside when she abandoned her car and her luggage? Like the luggage is inside the house once she gets there.
Yeah, that was probably just a continuity error, I would guess, but I don't know.
Did you guys notice that the luggage?
No, I didn't. I didn't notice.
I did not catch that.
Now that you said that, I kind of. So yeah, she gets her inside, but these kids help her. These creepy ass kids who are like, "We just want to help you. There's an extra key," because they have knowledge of everything. So they have knowledge of everything her wife knew.
I don't know about that. But they do say, remember, I thought maybe they observed it. They're the next door neighbors. They said, remember last year when you got locked out, you put a key
they could. Yeah, that's possible too. But they
don't. No, that is what they said.
They said
they have knowledge. Yeah, they have knowledge of her wife, knowledge of all the neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what they said. But she tells them to go, and they're like, okay, we'll go. And they pick up the bodies and they leave. And then she goes on TV. Now, I kind of question about this. Why is people, they're not being humans, like working or whatever, because they're all a hive mind? I don't understand why that means that all the cable channels that air on it, that are like set up to go, like why they would just quit broadcasting. Like news channels.
Nobody turned it on to broadcast. They turned the whole thing off.
Yeah, but why would they turn it off? I mean, this is at night. It doesn't just...
They don't need it anymore. They're not going to watch TV.
Yeah.
I guess, but they'd have to actually turn it off. It wouldn't just be off because nobody's there. That's what confused me. But anyway, she gets to the right news channel and sees a guy from Young and the Restless. That's all I kept thinking. Which I thought this was very creepy. Like just the whole, like that he's able to talk to her from the TV. He's like, we can see you. You're safe. Call us when you're ready. And then they had that kind of funny conversation where he's like, oh no, the other guys are dead. I think the creepy thing is the fact that they're like, this individual is blah, blah, blah. But we, they are the Borg or whatever, talking in the second person. But yeah, I don't know. I found this scene creepy, but at least it had explanation of what was going on. But she's terrified for good reason. Yeah. And
you know what's funny? You know what this guy reminded me of? I totally picture. I could totally picture this scene, and how awesome would this scene have been? I pictured like Fred Dillard playing this. Like I don't know why, but it just seemed like a type of character that he would have fucking played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. But yeah, everybody is trying to get her to listen because they want to make her like them. They want to fix her.
Be like me. You like me.
He says, what if I don't want that? And he doesn't really answer. We don't know. It seems like now they may not force her.
What? Why would you not want to be like us?
Why would you not think this is a good thing? So, all right. Well, that is the end of the first one. Let me get up Pirate Lady.
I want to wrap it up here a little quicker there, Jamie, since we kind of talked about the whole thing as a...
Yeah, we don't... Well...
Move it along a little quicker. It's already 15:15.
All right, hold on.
Oh, yeah, we've been on a long time.
We went through that pretty quick. I think we spent a lot of time.
You guys still have Last Frontier.
Sorry, what?
We still have one more.
You guys still have Last Frontier.
Yeah, well, with that, we don't take very long with. All right, let's see. We want this one. Okay. So this episode, we learn more about what's her name? Pirate Lady.
Pirate Lady.
And we see her picking up and cleaning. They're picking up the bodies, and there's a better picture over there. They're cleaning up all the bodies because clearly whatever it is they did to the humans, there's a good percentage of them that it didn't work. And there's a lot of dead people that they have to take care of, which we find out later they did not anticipate. And it's because I guess they pushed up the timeline. And meanwhile, Carol is fighting with Pirate Lady because she does not want them touching her wife and she wants to bury her, and they start fighting, and that's when she screams and they all have a seizure. And she finds, let's see, she goes to try to get help, I guess, was after that happened when she fell. But she finds this guy, like that poor guy, right? And she tries to get him down. And then when he wakes up, he's like, it's okay. That was kind of funny, I thought. But yeah, the idea is they say that they can't handle their strong emotions, I guess, is the thing. And that it makes them have a seizure. I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, why? I guess that's my question. Like, if these are still honestly human and they're all humans, like, why the emotion is what gives them a seizure? Like, why that does that? See, I'm still in the mind. Like, I got to rewatch.
Overload.
I guess, because I got to rewatch episode 2 now that I've seen episode 1, because I'm still seeing it or thinking it in my head. Like, I honestly thought these were like aliens, like you said, pod people. That's what I thought it was, because I hadn't seen the first one for context when I watched the second one. So my mind is still kind of mixed up. But yeah, it's interesting that would happen, or that would cause it if they're a hive mind. I'm not sure why it would do that. Samuel says maybe it's because what's best for the planet. Maybe they want to preserve life on Earth and see humans as a threat. Maybe. Well, it's definitely a way that the aliens can get rid of them if they're a threat. I mean, there's something.
I think we gotta stop saying aliens, because I mean they clearly the guy on the TV clearly said it's closer to we're not aliens. It's closer to it's a virus, more like a virus. He's like, but that's not quite it either. But that's closer.
But the aliens sent it, though.
Yes.
So there
we
are.
don't know who sent it. We don't know who sent it.
Well, somebody from outer space sent it.
Somebody who's not from the Earth sent it. So
yeah. So I'm going to assume that's aliens.
Could have came from the space station.
No, they're on their way back.
Yeah.
Now they are.
Yeah, I don't think it was invented on the space station. I think that
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I definitely think that there's aliens involvement, but yes, the group of people on the planet is not aliens. That's what we have to remember. And that, like I said, my mind, I still keep thinking that because I didn't know that until I watched it. Golden Child says it's AI. You know, it could be that AI from the future created it and sent it back to us, or humans from the future created it and sent it back to us to save us. We've seen stories like that.
4400.
Yep. Samuel says, man-made, alien-designed hive mind virus thingy. Sounds about right. So let's see. They give her an excavator to bury her wife. And then they agree to take her to see the other 12 people that are like her.
5.
She only wants to see the 5 that can speak English. I was getting to that. So they go to meet
because she doesn't trust the.
Well, yeah, she don't trust
translator
or whatever you want to call it.
She doesn't trust. She doesn't trust Pirate Lady to translate.
All right. So they all meet, and even though they all supposedly are individuals and have their own mind, nobody else seems to think this is necessarily a bad thing. And I mean, look, I can understand Lakshmi there not thinking it's as much of a bad thing as it is, because who wants to think my child's dead, right? Like, I feel like she's sort of holding on to hope that these people that are their family are still okay. So I can kind of understand it in her point of view. Although I guess they all have family members there, so I guess you could say that about all of them. But
I loved when she asked the kid,
the gynecologist,
about the cervix and all the gynecological questions. That was great.
That was great. So yeah, nobody is. My watch is doing that. Sorry, I'm trying.
I was gonna say what? I was like, is that coming from you?
It was coming from my phone and my watch at the same time, I think was why. So it beeped. Yeah, like, but why do you, I don't know. Like, I kind of, as I watched this, was like, why, like, it really surprised me that everybody seems okay with this. Like, I get that this guy is okay with it because he's like, I can do whatever I want and be rich and have a plane. And like, I get it. He wants it.
You know what I just thought about?
people, I was surprised.
Every time he has sex with one of the women, he's having sex with everybody on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Carol was, she's so appalled by that. And she doesn't really say it, but I think by the idea of like, are these women giving consent really to have sex with you? I mean, whoever owned that body is gone now, right? And there's just one big mind, and that idea of control and free will, right? And like, and like these bodies don't have free will to say like yes or no, and are really like being dominated by this the overriding interest is to make everyone happy, and so he's able to have sex with all these supermodels who don't really have any like the satisfying his desires is what's most important, right? Except unless he wants to eat lobster, then they're not the most. He can't eat lobster. No, he
has to go kill his own lobster if he wants it, right? But yeah, I don't know. Does it not surprise you? Like, why do you think everybody is so okay with it though? Like him, I get, and I understand.
I don't know,
but the rest of them, it's like
I wouldn't be okay with it.
I wouldn't either. And like I said, I understand not wanting to accept your family's gone and kind of believing that they're okay because you can't deal with that. But these people really seem to not get it. And I want her to be like, wake the fuck up, which is kind of what she's trying to do, right? And yeah, it just surprises me that so many of them are like okay with it. Now this woman, let's see, this one there, she legitimately wants it because she thinks her family's happy and she wants to be with them. So at least she gave an explanation of why she wanted it. But the other ones just thinking it's okay. They really didn't.
Another one says, look, there's no more war. There's no more murder. There's no more drug abuse. There's like all the ills of society have been.
But there's no more you. I mean, you can't interact.
It's funny. They talk about all that. But I'm kind of surprised Carol didn't say something like, yeah, and there's no carnivals and there's no this and there's, like the good things. Yeah,
there's no nothing
anymore.
Like they can go, those people can go and do fun things on their own without anybody else if they want. But
every single person, all the people are engaged. It's a massive cleanup. They've got to clear 800,000 bodies and like all these crashed planes and crashed cars. Like to say that there are no carnivals. Well, it's only been 3 days, so there are like who's to say there won't be fun things?
Okay, Karen, when they clean up the bodies, there better be some carnivals, or I'm not on board.
But here's the thing: the fun things for who? They don't care about those things.
I don't think they care about anything anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
That individuality. Their only goals are to serve the ones that aren't them, and that's what's strange and makes it kind of interesting.
But that's not their goal. That's not their only goal.
No, what she says to her, she says later, whenever she says, "You can only do it if I tell you you can." How is that good? Like, how does that make you happy? That's what I'm saying. What I'm meaning is when she says that, like, they're kind of, that is sort of what they're saying. We're going to give you anything you want, and we can't decide on our own. You have to tell us what to do. Like that's still
no. That's not really what happened there. What happened was they're in conflict. There are two characters in conflict, and Pirate Lady can't make the choice because it will disappoint one or the other. So you have to settle it among yourselves. It's not.
She also said they can't make any choices. Maybe that wasn't meant to be taken literally then, but that's what she said.
No, that she can't make that choice between the two of them because one of them would be left disappointed.
Right. I thought she said she couldn't make any choices. Maybe I heard that wrong then. That makes more sense that way. But they don't want to hurt anybody. They don't want to do anything that can cause strife or pain.
I mean, it's not their ultimate goal to serve these people. They have an ultimate goal, and these 12 people are an obstacle along the way. They said it would take them about 6 months to figure out why they're immune and correct that and assimilate them. So I mean, they have another goal.
Resistance is futile.
Resistance is futile. They have another goal, right? they don't expect to be serving these people in perpetuity. They expect in 6 months to have it figured
Well, we don't know what their goal is because they haven't told us.
No, we don't know. We don't know what their goal is, right?
There's Lakshmi having issues, but yeah, we do find out that whenever we had been told, but they didn't get into it until a little bit later. But whenever they seize up, like we said, a lot of them died. She killed over 11 million people. But we find out that whenever they took over the planet, or we took over the planet, or whatever you want to call it, that over 800 million people died.
Which is like 10% of the population of the planet.
And Pirate Lady gives.
I thought it was more than that. I thought they said it was more than that.
I don't know. Pirate Lady
it's like 887 million. It's a very exact number, but it's 887 million, I think.
Ooh, I wonder if the numbers mean anything.
The thing is that Pirate Lady gives the excuse that they moved the timetable up because of the military. That's what killed people, which I don't know whether that's true or not. I mean, I don't know I don't know they can even lie at this point, but
well, because they usually I forget why, but they usually enroll people individually, and for some reason they went like worldwide.
Well, they went worldwide because the military found out about them and started killing them.
Yeah, I can't figure out who's
so they sped up. B has a good question here, which I've kind of thought about too.
How does the hive make
Jamie, can you not hear us?
Sorry, what?
Can you not hear us?
No, I didn't hear what you said. Say it again.
Can you not hear us?
I can hear you now. Can you not hear me?
Well, no, but you were reading that while AJ was talking, and I thought one of you maybe couldn't hear.
My thing was going out. Sorry. That's why I said I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, I was just saying, I was thinking the same thing that B has here. I'm kind of, my thought process on that is just maybe it's the first woman that became after the one that got bit by the rat.
The very first woman that was infected.
Yeah. Because that's an interesting question. Like I almost wonder if there's not like a specific person's mind per se that's the queen, quote unquote.
Like the Borg queen.
Right. But it's just is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a floating brain.
I mean, this is why, like, in every situation, like every project I work on at the office, every committee I'm on, every department has to have a person in charge for decision making. Like decision by committee kind of doesn't really always work. Now, they're not a committee; they're a single mind, right? It's not like it's not 8 billion minds having a conversation. It's a single thing, but
being translated out of multiple.
Yeah, but who's controlling it and why? Like, what really?
Well, that we have to.
What really was the goal of uniting humanity into a collective?
It was the scientists thinking they knew better and getting carried away.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys something though that I missed, and I think it was because I saw the second episode first. I think that's part of the reason. But they brought Pirate Lady or whatever to her because she looked like the character in her book, except female version that she was originally going to make the book based on. Was it just supposed to be that they found somebody that looked like her? Because I thought when I watched it, like they somehow made themselves look like her, and now that I know what was going on, that doesn't make sense. So they just like randomly found somebody.
They found a woman who looked like that guy, and they decided to make it a woman because they know that she's gay, even though the world didn't know that she was gay. And they know that the book was originally that character was originally gonna be a female, and she changed it to a male character, right? So I guess they have all of
right. But I mean, they just like found somebody who looked like her was what it was saying. It wasn't anything other than that. Okay, that's what I had missed.
Yeah, they just found someone.
All right. And it didn't work. Zemo says they were trying to seduce her. Yeah, they kind of were. It doesn't work.
They were trying to woo her.
Yep.
Yeah. It did not work. That's for sure. So basically, after all this, she flips out because they don't listen to her, and we kind of said that already, that they come and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's like, "Get the fuck off of me!" And then that's when it happens again, which she didn't intend. But we sort of talked about that scene with the little boy was really funny. She got her point across, I think, to the mother, right? That they have all the knowledge.
No, I don't think she did. That woman is extremely stubborn. Maybe the other people were kind of like,
But I can understand a parent being in total denial that your child is gone, right? Like, to admit that this child, it could, like, if your child, like she says, this is still my son, and it is the body that she gave birth to and raised, but like, to admit that mentally your son is gone, his personality is gone, his individuality, his entire
everything that made him.
He's not in there anymore, right? Like, to admit that would be devastating, right?
Yeah. I feel like the conversations go something like, I have this memory that your son and like, that's not the same thing.
Yeah. And it's only been a few days, right? It's only been a few days.
Right. And they do keep saying this individual, like, they don't say me. It's
I think it has, I mean, I'm trying to think where the last time I saw the countdown, I think it's been like 2 days, actually.
Yeah. You have to question, though, how they're also omnipresent. Like, they're all the people, but yet they can be doing multiple things at once, I guess, right?
What do you mean?
Which is a little confusing.
But,
because there's like multiple versions everywhere. Like, you could have, I can be here, this person can be here in the world, and then somebody on the other side of the world is doing something at the same time, and yet they're aware of each other because they're one mind. It's just kind of hard to wrap your head around, is what I'm saying.
It's like that
way. That's why I said they're sort of omnipresent.
It's like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's the ultimate multitasker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, everybody leaves, unsurprisingly, except for this guy, because he wants to take Pirate Lady, which, it is kind of interesting. She never even did ask her name, and I don't remember now what it was, but I did find that interesting. I kind of thought, I never even thought about what's her name.
She didn't care because she didn't think of her as an individual person.
Yeah.
Because she's not. She's a hive mind.
Right, but it's also interesting that they gave her a name too. If she is,
well, she has a name.
Well, yeah, but
I had a name before the hive mind.
You think that was supposed to be that person's name originally?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He asked her.
It's Zora or Zoya.
Casanova asked her name.
Right, but I didn't think about it being her name before. It probably that makes sense. Okay. All right. Well, either way, he wants to go have sex with her, and he has to get permission from.
No, he just liked her personality.
Carol, because she doesn't want to upset either of them. And she just tells him to go. And then in the end, she's like, no, wait, I'm going with you. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to think about the end, because I really just don't know where it's going.
Why do you think she went with him?
I think she realized she didn't want to be alone, maybe, would be my best guess.
Being with people who hate you is better than being alone, or it could also be that she's like, well, my only chance here is to convince them, and I have to keep trying.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep. That's kind of my thing, is if I go with them, I can maybe figure this out.
Yeah. I keep thinking that there's got to be something that will undo it in certain people, because I just can't see them having a whole season where there's only her and a couple people. Like, I just feel like
so many shows. Every show only has like a handful of main characters.
I guess, but it just, to me, would make sense if, like I said, I thought maybe she really didn't kill people, and that it really instead was like turning people back or something. Like, I could see them doing something like that, like something, she finds something that will turn people. I don't know. That's just where I thought it was going or might go.
Hopefully.
Well,
we don't know enough yet.
And also, I think, so I was really interested in this previous scene that you had up where Pirate Lady, Air Force One wants to have sex with Pirate Lady, wants Pirate Lady to join his harem of supermodels. And he wants to have sex with her. His name is Mr. Diabate. Thank you. His name is Mr. Diabate. He's like, I forget where he's from, like he's Algerian or something, or he's from Mauritius, I think. So he wants to take Pirate Girl with him, wants her to join his gang of women. She's willing to go. But what interested me is this part where the individual doesn't exist. So Pirate Lady herself can't give consent, but she's asking Carol to give consent. Like there's this whole weird consent thing going on that Carol has to consent for this woman to have sex when she really has no control like that.
It's okay.
Right?
She's giving control for her to have sex. She's giving consent for her to go to Vegas with him.
Yes, but his intent, he admits that his intent
is his intent. Yes, that's his intent.
Yes. And Pirate Lady is incapable of saying no or declining any request that is made.
Fair enough.
Except like, please kill a cow so I can have a steak. Like that request is maybe the only request that would be denied. So it's this very weird consent thing going on here where the one character kind of can't. The default is consent, and Carol thinks maybe it's not a good idea, and she doesn't want to. Right? Like it's a whole weird thing. It was very interesting to me.
Yeah, and that's why she tried to explain to her too. You know, whether you guys are happy or not, you never gave anybody a choice. You just did it. Do you think they're going to force her? I mean, they're saying she's her own person, and I think they're trying to say that they're not going to force them if they don't want to. They're going to try to talk them.
Well, I mean, they're putting the cart before the horse here because they haven't even figured out.
True.
No, but it appears that it's been encountered before. Maybe they don't seem surprised by it, and they think they need 6 months to figure it out. And they're not going to let Carol choose. You're right. They didn't let anybody else choose, right?
No, but they're telling her she'll be able to choose. Now the guy on the news didn't, but they kind of say a couple things that made me think they might let her choose, but I don't think they will. I'm just saying the way they say it. Like they keep saying, you're your own person, you're making the choice or whatever. But I don't think they'll give her a choice.
See, I think when they say that you're your own person, I think it's meant in a different way than how we're hearing it. Because they're of a hive mind where she's not. So that's all they're saying.
All right, fair.
You're your own person, whereas we are legion, we are many.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever implied that she would have a choice. I thought it was very ominous that they're going to solve this and she will be assimilated.
Yeah,
they're just so sure of it, or they're just so sure of themselves that she's going to choose to join them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their preference, probably, that she should choose, even though they didn't, because
who wouldn't want to be part of a hive mind?
If she doesn't choose, they'll choose for her.
Well, if she becomes angry, some of them will die. But I think it's a very simple thing. Like, she's not going to farm her own food. Like, they can easily contaminate her food and pass it to her somehow, right? Any interaction she has, unless she's going to be in isolation, there's no way to avoid it.
They can lick a donut.
Yep.
They can lick a donut.
Yep. So anyway, it was kind of weird. Right. It's kind of okay.
I like it, and I do think it's something we could dive in deeper to if people want to see it. But whether you guys want to or not,
I don't see where you're going deeper than what we just discussed. But
there's actually not that much dialogue on this show.
There isn't a lot of dialogue. I'll give you that.
All right.
I think it makes a lot more sense when you see it in order, though. That's for sure. I was like, I guess we just don't get to know what the heck it is that's controlling them. And I honestly just assumed they weren't going to say it. And then I'm like, wait, but this is the same. I was like, this is the same episode when I tried to play episode 2. And I'm like, what is going on? I don't know. It just kept jumping. So I saw the first 4 minutes of episode 1 because I saw the thing with the signal and everything. And then it went into episode 2 and I didn't know it. But that's why it was telling me the wrong episode. And I was so confused. And then I finally figured out what happened. So then I went to Apple and watched it for free and saw the first episode. I saw 2, then 1.
I mean, Golden Child is asking, didn't they say something about a worldwide situation happening before this encounter we're seeing now? I'm not sure about that.
I am not.
Maybe the worldwide situation was that humanity is so messed up, something had to be done about us.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they assimilated another planet. I mean, it could be that's what they meant. I don't know. And I don't know, Samuel. But I do know that episode 1 is free right now on Apple TV. If anybody is watching us that hasn't actually seen it, the first episode is free. But yeah, I don't know. I got it to work eventually. I just did it out of order and didn't know it until after.
All right.
But at least I got to see it.
Last one.
All right.
Yeah.
All
right, everybody.
We've been on TV a long time.
Yeah.
Like a precursor to what we're watching now. Like something happened on Earth that caused them to send the recipe down. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I said it could be them in the future even. We don't know.
Yeah.
I really think that's highly unlikely. I don't think that's the show I'm watching, but I could be wrong.
Because I've seen that before. So
I'm saying now I don't think that time travel is a part of it, but
no, not necessarily time travel, just that it's being, well, I guess that is kind of time travel.
If humans in the future did it, then that's an element of time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think so. But who knows? All right, let's bang out this last thing. It's late and I got a long day tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. All right, I got to open the right one here. Give me 1 sec. Okay, we don't want Pluribus. We want this one. I don't know why it moved, but there you go. All right, now you're going to have to remind me what this is about. I unfortunately did not get to see it again.
I think I texted you the other day. This is the episode where the criminal of the week is a serial killer.
Oh, that's right.
A mercy-killing doctor who is like really smart, and he has taken the pilot hostage. Apparently the pilot survived the original crash, and this guy's been holding him ever since. And he's the fugitive of the week, who is, I'm not really sure what his goal is or where he's going. I can't remember. Pretty much everybody's trying to get to Canada, right? Like Canada would
trying to get away, and he uses the dying guy as his bargaining chip, basically. Well,
what happens is he's in a car crash, right? And he encounters
ambulance.
Some trooper. Maybe he stages the crash so the ambulance will come, and he kills the EMTs, and he uses the contents of the medical supplies on this guy, right? On the pilot, because he's been trying to keep him alive. I guess as a commercial bargaining chip. I can't remember what his
swelling in his. I think he had swelling in his brain or something, and he did like a stopgap measure. And he's like, if he doesn't get to the hospital, he's going to die. So you have to do what I say.
It's all very contrived. It's unbelievable to me that this plane crashed with this assortment of ridiculous. Like, it supposedly is a transport that was created just to get rid of Havelock, but it's populated with all these criminals with these sort of interesting wackadoo stories, and they're all geniuses. Not all of them, but they're all pretty smart, and they're all I said to you, Jamie, I think it has me wondering if I was the CIA, I don't know why the CIA, like this, if I was going to shoot down a plane to kill Havelock, I'd be like, yeah, let me pick all the most annoying people from every prison and put them on here and knock them all out at once, right? It's just crazy that this group of people is on this plane. There's no like straight up just like regular old murderers and car thieves on this plane.
Well, no, I mean, they were people that were the worst of the worst supposed to be.
I don't know that.
Or at least that's what it seemed like to me. Whether that makes sense or not, I don't know. But that's what
one of them was a pretty very low level con woman who turned out to be a genius con woman, right? And con the con. And so that's the fugitive of the week that Frank is chasing.
And he wants this box. I was looking. I don't remember why he wanted the deposit.
He wants to
I do remember why he wanted the deposit box.
He wants a safe deposit box.
Have a picture of this victim in it, and he wanted the woman to see.
He wants this box where he has photographs of every single person that he killed. And he produces one. I think, he's asked for the bank president to deliver it. And it turns out that he also killed her daughter. And I don't know why he wants to confess that, because he was getting away with it. But I guess because the cruelty is the point, maybe, right? Which is crazy because that's not really who this guy is. Like, as a serial killer, he was a mercy killer, right? Well, not even a mercy killer.
No, he wasn't a mercy killer. He killed them because he said they were taking up resources.
Yeah, but they were all like terminal cancer or in a vegetative state.
But it wasn't that he wanted to. It wasn't a mercy killing that he killed them because they were suffering. He killed them because he thought that they were a drain on the system and that people that needed it weren't getting it.
Yes.
So it was a little bit of a twist. I remember that part.
Right. And so then for him to like, there's this like Hannibal Lecter moment where he wants to see the parent of the person that he killed, and he produces the picture and he says, I just want you to know I killed her or whatever. And it's like this moment of cruelty that seemed to not really be in this guy's profile as a killer, right?
Yeah. But I like that she's like already knew it. Like that whole time she knew it. But it was sad because I mean it got her to kill him and now she'll go to prison.
It was so obvious that she was going to shoot him. It was so obvious that she was going to shoot him.
No, I'll give you that. No, what about the Havelock? Remind me with Sydney and Havelock what happened, because that part of the story I don't remember.
Have this flashback where Havelock had some Havelock appeared to have some kind of job interning on a farm or something.
You said about that woman that
he had an informant who worked on this wherever this place was. She was like a Russian kind of person, right? She was
risked her life to give them information.
Well, she was some sort of resource of his. And Sydney had to burn her for whatever reason. Sydney was gonna expose this person, and and then Havelock was trying to convince. Like, it was. I felt
he didn't want to kill her. I remember that he didn't want to kill her because he said she did what they asked, and that wasn't right. But then she was trying to explain to him that by killing her, you killed her. But if you don't kill her, they're gonna come after her family and torture them. So like, it's actually worse not to just.
I'm not really sure that's the argument Sydney made.
Well, there was some argument about that. I mean, no, she was still going to burn her. They were using her. But I think what she was saying is that she was already going to get caught, and that by them not killing her, it actually would end up being crueler in a way, which didn't make it okay. He was like saying we can find a way to save her. Either,
that's not really what I took from that conversation, but that she would
been forever since I've seen it. So you could be right.
I thought that she would be tortured and she would give up the information. They couldn't trust her to not be caught and give up the information. And so they were going to have to, and then Havelock's like, we have to protect her. That's not cool. And then he like goes behind Sydney's back and he tells the woman, look, like the CIA is not going to have your back. You have to run. And she's like, what about my family? And he's like, no, you have to run. And I felt like the whole point of it was to humanize Havelock a little bit and to be like, oh, look, he's an evil genius, but actually he's a good guy and like didn't want to.
I think it humanized him a bit, but what it did, I remember what it did to me is it made me dislike her more.
She's very unlikable.
Her more cold.
I mean, it's the job. She's doing the job, right? Like, I mean, gee, Havelock, you didn't want people to get killed. Don't like turn spy for the CIA, right? Like, I don't know. Like,
that is true.
I'm not saying it's okay for the CIA to kill people, but like it's like Guy with the Talamasca. You get in bed with a dog, and then you're surprised when you wake up with fleas.
True.
But I thought I think I see this show trying to like show us that Havelock is like not the bad. He's obviously not the bad guy, right? In the end, Havelock is not going to be the bad guy. In the end, Havelock is some kind of good guy who's like saving us from our terrible security apparatus, probably.
Well, I mean, either way, they're definitely trying to make it that things aren't what we think maybe. So I guess we have to see. But yeah, they are trying to humanize them. I agree with you there. But I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't to me so much that it made me think he was better. It made me think she was worse. So that was how I felt about it anyway.
I didn't feel that way, but I don't really like, I mean,
you don't like her to begin with. So that's fair.
I don't know if you're supposed to like Sydney. I don't think Sydney likes Sydney.
That's a good point. She probably does not.
I don't think you're supposed to like her. Frank maybe likes her a little bit. He's starting to understand her a little bit better. And Sydney herself has now been used and thrown under the bus and burned by the CIA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think they've both been burned at this point pretty bad. You still have not seen the flashback of Frank yet, right?
No,
I don't think that's a spoiler to say eventually they're going to have a flashback. I think you know that.
No, I mean there's a moment in this episode where. All right, well, go ahead. You have a few slides here, I think. So,
yeah, I don't know which ones to show because they're downloaded from Apple Press sites, so they're not.
All right, so there's only like 6 of them anyway. Then
but there's a cool picture of the board. I liked this. I thought that was cool. I don't think that's actually a screenshot. I think they took like a promotional photo, but it looks really cool and you can actually read it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that guy's name was Dr. Wig, apparently, because I can see that on the board.
Ah, okay. Dr. Wig.
There you can see which ones are captured and which ones are dead and that kind of thing. So that's a pretty cool shot.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
But yeah, there's I think part of the thing is this show has so many different, I don't want to say storylines because it's not exactly that many different storylines, but there's a lot of different threads and it gets very convoluted at times. And it takes a while for them to kind of bring it back around because they have all the separate, and part of it is because they're, going after these separate inmates. And sometimes I wonder if it would have worked better if they chose one or the other. Like they either made it about finding the inmates and made it more of like a hunting party type thing, or they made it about the spy thing. Sometimes I think them trying to mix the two is what's not working. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, there was I kind of didn't mind it, but now it seems to have outlived its usefulness, maybe, right?
I didn't mind it when I watched it, but it being this many weeks out and us talking about it, like I can totally see that how it would do that. Because it's so long. This show's like 10 episodes, so it's a longer string. I think maybe even if there had been, I know I'm normally not the one that says that, but I think maybe if this show had been like 6 episodes, maybe it would have played a little better. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still a lot of twists and stuff to go. So yeah. I mean, obviously, if you don't like it at this point, I don't think you're gonna like it no matter what, but I'm just saying, like, there are some things that haven't happened yet. Yeah. So if you do like it and you're watching it, I suggest you keep watching. But yeah, there's more to go. Yeah. I like the actors, though. I do think the cast is good, but I do agree with you. We need more Dominic Cooper. He is not in the show enough. I think that's one of my biggest complaints, and yours.
Yeah. I was a little irritated by the continued presence of Luke in the storyline because I felt like I wasn't a fan of that storyline, right? Like it went on kind of too long. Like I wasn't a fan that first Frank's wife gets kidnapped, then Frank's son gets kidnapped. It was all just like a bit much, and I was kind of irritated that we have to see him making up with his girlfriend and all this blah blah. But then in the end, like, holy cow, Luke went looking for the gun that Frank had hidden, that Havelock had moved, right? Like Luke knew it was there, and Luke went to look for it and was mad that, like, what is that about? That was truly surprising to me. Yeah,
it becomes a big thing. And I wanted to ask you too, because I can see one of the pictures, unless I got the wrong episode, this guy's in it.
That's the courier, yeah.
Okay, so did we find out anything about him yet? Maybe he hasn't been in it much yet, so I want to be careful what I say. But
no, they were questioning him, and Havelock left him alive, right? Like Havelock didn't. And so he's being questioned. And what did we learn from him? What did we learn from the courier? He was non-cooperative. And he say something that was
passports, I think was the other. I think that's all you got so far is he had a bunch of fake passports, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much then, but we'll talk more about him later. I don't remember. I'm hoping this week I have time to rewatch the newest one before next week because it's been so long.
Yeah.
I just don't have enough hours in the day.
I mean, we did learn in this episode that the drive. So we know that the drive that Havelock has been carrying, the archive, is not actually what we thought it was. It's a copy of the malware that was used to bring down the plane, right? To bring down Havelock's plane. And the pilot had survived and was questioned by Frank and talked about how the plane, like why the plane went down and everything. And we learned that, like, in the past, Sydney had proposed using malware to bring down a Japanese plane to kill a Chinese, to bring in a Chinese plane to kill a Chinese target. Why do I keep saying Japanese? I'm sorry.
I know.
We learned that Sydney, they used an idea of Sydney's to bring down this plane. Like, she brought it up before, it wasn't used, and now they're definitely trying to frame her, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're getting more pieces of the puzzle. You just don't quite know how to fit them together yet. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, there's more. I think it's okay to say that we'll see more of this guy coming up, and I just want to be careful what I say. But yeah, we're getting there. And more of the story.
Yeah. And in the end, the FBI got the hard drive. Like, Sydney was like, Frank, don't let them get it. Frank, don't let them get it. And they got it.
Really mad at him because he let them have it.
But I think she wanted it because she knows she's going to be framed.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, she's trying to save herself, but we don't really know. I feel like we don't know the whole goal yet of what the CIA are trying to do with the frame. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's about framing them. Yes. But framing her, I can't talk. The later it gets, the more mashed up my brain gets about framing her. But I feel like even at this point, I feel like there's more to it. And like I said, you got pieces of the puzzle, but we don't know how to fit them together quite yet. Or where that's going. And his wife is in this one again, right? I know that's not the right picture, but I think
because she's instrumental at the hospital when Dr.
helps them get away or helps the nurse get away or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, she takes over and
she's instrumental in this scene here.
All right. They just don't have a picture.
Yeah.
I wish when they put them up, I think it's because of the way the file name's saved. They're never in order. That's why I'm like, I got them from the press site, but they're not in order. So it's hard to talk about it in that sense. But yeah, I'll keep watching. There's still 4 episodes left. So we're a little over halfway now. I
think this show is absolutely ridiculous. I think it's too violent and unpleasantly so. Like, some of these inmates have been extremely violent and I think it's a lot and it's not all necessary. And it makes me, a lot of times, the beginning of the episode sets a tone that then kind of sours me for watching the episode, right?
I get that.
And it's utterly ridiculous, like, every week, but I guess we'll see, like, where it all goes.
Yeah. Well, he's still got, like I said, you're just a little over halfway through, so there's still a bit left, but yeah, we'll see where that goes. All right. Well, what else do we got coming up, guys? Let's see. So, I have to double check with Scarlett. I think we are doing, tonight, I want to say tomorrow, tonight, I think we're doing the Lazarus 3 and 4, I believe. Scarlett and I are doing tonight at 11. I got to double check with her, guys, but I believe that that's what's going to be tonight, tomorrow, whatever you want to call it, Wednesday at 11, because we are behind because Scarlett hadn't been here. And then we'll finish for our deep dive. I mean, obviously we reviewed it today, but and then the rest of it will be the following week. And we have Stranger Things coming up soon. Once the show starts, so make sure you check that out. And we kind of decided we're probably going to do Thursdays.
2 weeks away.
2 weeks away, but it's coming. It's near here. But yeah, guys, let us know if you're watching this, please, in the comments. Let us know what else you want to see. If you want to see something deep dived, if you would rather not see something deep dived, if you don't care, let us know. Please like the video, hype it if you can. If it's available to you, subscribe to SciFi Vision. Check out our interviews. There's more coming under the videos. I have some Marvel tidbits coming, obviously, because I have the artist interviews coming once the embargo's up with Clark Gregg. And then also I talked to Tony Dalton from Trap House, which is a really good movie. But I talked to him about Daredevil as well. And that stuff is coming. Trying to think what else. Yeah, there's stuff coming. So just keep a watch out, and thank you, B. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay with us. And thank you for those of you that come back, week after week. We appreciate it. And
all right. Thanks, everybody.
So I will see some of you tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, next week's show is going to be very short.
So we finally have we've had like so much in each Fandom Access, and we finally got.
Next week we only have one episode of Pluribus, Talamasca, and Frontier.
Last Frontier. Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. All right.
You're welcome, B. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Night.
Night.